I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Happy Thursday to you. I know this is my first Thursday back doing public readings, so I'm excited. And thank you for all the wonderful comments and excitement around it as well. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much for all of your love. I can feel it. So before we jump in, let us bring in some beautiful love energy. I know I posted a little social post earlier today. There's a lot of weird energy going on out there, or I call it interesting energy, uh, asking for our attention. So, what we can do to help this little wonderful energy going on out there is allow that unconditional love energy within our hearts to flow down, fill us up, and flow out to the world. And I will hit the singing bowl 3 times. As we're doing that, something that can help raise your love vibration immediately is, of course, gratitude. Thinking of just one thing that we're grateful for in this moment. And then sincerely thanking the creator for it. It raises our love vibration. And we also have this beautiful of course, energy to receive messages from spirit, but whatever we are grateful for, it magnetizes us to receive more of that too. So we like it, we like it. All right. So if you want to join me, I'm going to start by taking a big deep breath in, hold it for as long as you feel, you know, comfortable. Don't pass out or anything. And then just let that flow out. So here we go. Big deep breath in. Beautiful. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Woo, woo, woo. Powerful energies. Can always tell when others join in, it just magnifies it more and more and more. So I love it. I love it. So thank you guys again so much for all of your love and support and celebrating being here on a Thursday night. As some of you might have seen, I made some important decisions to balance and focus energy, and my YouTube channel memberships I did let go and discontinued those um, so that I could focus on these readings, and then also my weekly podcast that will be coming out soon, which will be The Easier Path by brudda-zen. So I'm going to introduce Thursday nights for these sessions. So it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 6 to 9. So it's an extra hour or two. And then Saturday and Sunday afternoons from 11 to 2. So it's 3 hour sessions. The only one that I'll be coming back on to complete out all free readings will be on Sundays. I've been doing it for every session for probably a month or two, but had a big, you know, message from spirit about balance and calmness, and so I know we like when we get those. That's brudda-zen's challenge always is balance, balance, balance. So we will, of course, start with donations. If you're to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of people, the Zen friends. We all have huge hearts and great senses of humor, two important things that we definitely need for this adventure that we're on as humans, especially in this day and age, right? So, welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. If you want to know how the whole process works, check out the description box of the video. It goes into detail about donations and all the process there. I won't spend time on it. Most of you know it already, so we'll get into readings. But if you're interested, make sure to check that out as well. All right. So we do have a few readings out here. And let me just make my little quick list here. Did you guys notice that they changed back um the format? They had done it to all those, handles with the A signs, but now I see that it's returned back to normal. So our patience paid off, right? Or maybe the enough people complained that they changed it back. But I like it. We're back to our regular names, so I love that. We'll be using a new tarot deck called the Daydream Tarot. Dun, da, da, da. It's a really cool, whimsical deck. So I'm excited to use this today. All right, I think that's everything. Blah blah blah. So we'll start off with Olivia, and then to Johanna, and then back to Olivia, and then to Aries Rising, Grilgon, Duffner, then back to Aries Rising, then back to Grilgon, Duffner, and then Sun and Moon, Content, and then back to Aries Rising, and then Yadi. Um, I did get yours via Zcash app, so you will be up after that. So that's where we're at right now, and we'll jump in here. So, hello, hello. It's so good to see you too. Thank you guys again for all the excitement and around being on Thursday nights, because I was feeling a bit guilty and bummed about it, for my YouTube channel members. So you're lightening my spirits, making me feel a little less guilty. So thank you. All right. So we will, after each session, I do put a pinned comment listing all the readings with timestamps. So if we ever have to go away and come back later, you can always check out the pinned comment and we'll have those as well. All right. So up first we have Olivia. So your first timestamp is 8:18. A lot of eights in there. So there we go. For the first one here, thank you so much. You screamed with excitement when you got the notice that we are in today. I love you. So absolutely, it is my pleasure. This is my joy. So you wanted to know here for your first one, spirit messages from your friend Jay, who's on the other side. All right, Jay, whoosh, here they come. Also, what does he think of the clock that you gave him? All right. So let's take a look here for Jay, who has passed. Any messages coming in from them? Of course they are. Let me move these over here. I like their energy. They're like, whoosh, here I am. And then what did they think of the tick-tock clock? All right, and then that too. All right, let's see what we got here. So let me scroll down here so I can see if you're commenting too. So what does Jay have to say? Well, the bottom of the deck, we start off with the Magician. Beautiful, beautiful little card here. It's funny that when I got that in there, I kind of pictured a little kid in a magician outfit, like it's something that they enjoyed doing when they were younger, like, I'm going to be a magician. And then, of course, they were told, think of something more responsible. But I could just, they have that kind of energy of like, I'm going to, like a mature young person, I'm going to be a magician. So that's funny with that. And that's what they wanted with that. Let's see what else they have here for you. We do have the Judgment card. I love these. Woo! So this the judgment card is about seeing things from a higher perspective. The judgment card is kind of like um, a resurrection of sort where there's this usually there's like caskets and there's an angel that's blowing the trumpet like the rapture in the Christian holy books. But what I like about this is that they're saying, wow, we see things so differently from up here than down there. And, we know that because we don't come down here fully. Like our entire soul doesn't fit into a human body. We just kind of stick a little pinky toe into the water, and that's this human experience, right? But when we disconnect and connect to the upper realms, then we immediately are reconnected fully. This expression sees things so differently. It's like for a little bit of time, he's saying that there's this um, um, we still retain our character as this human character, but we get so much more of our higher self connected where uh, it's like we understand the whys behind things. We understand the whole tapestry of life and where our thread fit in everywhere. And we start to pick all of that up like just like that. So they're saying, like, whoa, you know, I understand my choices so much more. I understand everyone else's choices so much more as well. I like that. You had the Five of Pentacles. So they do have this, transformation of I feel like they just wanna make sure you know that they have this transformation of having feeling lack, not good enough, um, and almost a little timid in this life, it feels like, but now that they're, reconnected, they're like, "Wow, what a difference it is between the human experience of our sense of worth and the pricelessness that we are so connected to when we connect back to our higher selves." So I feel like that's a big piece of like what they want you to know about yourself too. And for anyone that will listen is like you are worth so much more than you've ever been taught to believe. And all of these individuals that, um, berated, bullied, um, acted out of fear, abusiveness, all that kind of stuff. They're like, there is so much reason why that little inner child is acting that way because all those individuals felt so low about themselves. And now that they see everything so much more clearly on the other side, they have compassion for these individuals. Instead, instead of secret plots for revenge that they never would have told anyone. That's funny. Maybe they told you. 'Cause you're one of the ones that they would call for the body bag and the shovel to come help. But they see things completely different, and that's important to know. Yeah, the Page of Swords, again, I love these cards. The seeing things with that Ace of Swords, seeing things from a higher perspective, that there's always 2 ways to look at life. One is from the human, why the human character is doing what it's doing, but from the higher point, we understand what's going on behind the scenes, below the surface, the real purpose to things. Again, like this tapestry, the thread throughout the tapestry, what part it played in creating the beautiful design of the human collective, 'cause, like the thread, you could be a thread showing the contrast of light, you could be a thread showing the contrast of dark, and you could be doing both, at different times. And so I love that about seeing things differently. And the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Wands is like, of course, the quest for seeing, our power, how we see things from a different point of view too. Yeah, the capital T truth, right? Is that the capital T? Seeing things from a higher perspective. And the Knight of Wands is like realizing so much how our energy is what guided our path. And I feel like they're saying like, "Whoa, you don't realize." I like that. I feel like they would say something like that. Whoa. It was like, uh, who was it from? It was an old sitcom from really, really a long time ago, where I think the older brother was named Joey or something like that. So I love that. So you're still gonna go. If he gives you any names, you're ready to assist. But this Knight of Wands is like he didn't realize how much of our adventure and our journey depended on our energy, like all the possibilities. We weren't There's so many few faded things, and more of it's about choice. And they're like, and you don't realize in this human iteration how much power of choice is so important. So I love that. And then what about the clock? What do they think about the clock? We have the Eight of Pentacles. I like that. It works. What's that? It works. And the Queen of Cups, which is about, double the emotion. Um, I like that because it says, you always knew them so well. I feel like with this Queen of Cups, they were like, it was like you were a mind reader, but you always read their heart so well. You'd always pick out the perfect things that touched their heart. And so they loved it. I like how they started off, well, it works. It's a working clock, at least. But then they threw in the Queen of Cups too. Underneath all that, yeah, we have the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, the Queen of Cups, all this emotion. Wow. And then the Page of Cups, again, happy, happy emotion, um, but all this emotional energy. And the Fool that was here too. So I do like this. I do love this energy here of an adventure, of a new cycle, because the clock represents a new time, a new clock. And then they were saying how fitting it is that, a clock is about time, and they are out of space and time now. And I love this energy that they have with, just like it was perfect. Mwah. So I love that. So that I feel like is the messages they want. Let's get you a fortune cookie too, and then of course we'll circle back around for the other ones here in a moment. Let's see. Do we want to go to? I feel like we want to go to the letting go. There's two options this evening. We got the power of surrender or the letting go deck, and I feel drawn to the letting go. All right. So let's see what we have here. Hey, everybody. Good to see everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Can you believe it's Thursday? Can't believe it's July 3rd. Yeah, happy July, everybody. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All right, so here you go. So your card, here, I'll show you this and then I'll read the back too, which says, this one says, though available to all of us, the state of peace is reached by very few people. The inner experience of most people is marked by constant stress. The main stress to the majority of us is not due to external stimuli, but to the pressure of our own suppressed emotions. Most people who learn and practice the letting go technique notice a progressive improvement in physical health and vitality. I do feel like this is something that they wish they would have known as in this human form, because they're like, I would have had a much different physical and vitalic kind of life. But Letting Go by David Hawkins is an amazing book. That's where these cards come from. So if you're interested, check it. All right. So that's for your first one there, Olivia. Thank you again for your donation. Hopefully that is helpful. All right. And then Jojo, you are up exactly at 20 minutes. Can you believe that? 2000. So Jojo, There is yours. So thank you for the ice cream cone. Actually, just had an ice cream cone earlier today. Always makes everything better, right? So let's see here, Jojo. Do you have your question down here? Jojo. Did I miss it? Hold on. All right. Well, Jojo, I don't see a question from you, so maybe it didn't come through, or maybe it had naughty content in it. And I'm just kidding. Well, I never know with you. You're so funny. I don't see a question from you, Johanna. So let me erase that here. Let me remove that comment because I don't have a question for you. So I'll keep looking here. I'll just put you to the side here until we have one. All right. So we will circle back here. So we are back to you, Olivia. Boom, boom. Sorry for our little detour there. So let me just get rid of that one here. All right, Olivia. So thank you for your second donation for the onset. All right. So follow up on the nosy read on DD and you. Are you still on track to communicate on the 4th? BD, right? And then see each other in a few weeks. Be nosy, Detective BZ. I love that, the 8-ball. That's why you come to. I appreciate that. Well, we will definitely dive in here and see what we have going on here. So we'll take a look here. See what we have happening. So are you still on track to meet them? Or not meet, but talk to them. Was it the 4th, 5th? We'll take a look here. Was it 4th of July weekend or was it tomorrow? We'll take a look. And then what about meeting in a couple weeks? Where are we at in the energies of today? Let's take a look. We've got those. Let's see. I feel like these are the growing nose. That's too funny. We got that one and we want that one. Okay. So that's the underlying energy. All right. So Olivia, bottom of the deck, we do have the Ace of Wands. I like that they're bringing that in here because that is something like when I even just mentioned, well, today's energy, it's so amazing, especially when the reading you just got from Jay that they were talking about, it's amazing how much of our life is about possibilities comes from our energy, right? So the more we focus in, of course, on gratitude for the things and experience we have and have had, the more we draw in similar things. As humans, of course, we're taught to focus on what we feel is lacking in our life, that not meeting up to our expectations currently, and focus on want and need. But unfortunately, we don't know that that's actually pushing the things away from us. So it's good that we're being reminded from spirit a lot on this channel about our focus is what draws things to our life. If I focus on lower vibration, lack, need, want, fear, I draw things I don't want to come into my life. I repel things out that I do want or I fear will leave my life. So returning to gratitude is very important, I feel, with this. All of that said, let's see, are you still on track to speak this weekend? We have, well, we have the Hermit card and the Justice card. There's little bit of right now balance between head and heart going on here in the letting go of expectations with the Justice card, because that Ace of Swords has us look at things from that higher perspective, from a place of gratitude, helps balance out the scales. So it looks like, based on current energies, that there is no phone call. But that doesn't mean you can't change that with this new information that, okay, I can start focusing on. So, like, what I would do is look at when have I had conversations with them before that just made my heart sing and that I really, really loved. And I'm so grateful for this conversation and this conversation and this conversation. And the more that we focus in on that, the more that we draw those things in our direction. So right now it feels like, oops, boop, it got bumped, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it, especially with that Ace of Wands on the bottom. We'll take a look here at the other question, which is, are you still on track to meet in a few weeks in the physical realm, right? We do have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight. Isn't those cards so cute? But the Knight of, yeah, for a patience card. But let's see what these other cards are here. The World card, an ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, and the Ace of Swords, clarity and communication to come in here. It does look like here with this, it feels like a little bit of the energy that we got on the last reading, maybe, where they were going through a significant change. Um, but the Knight of Pentacles is about even bringing attention around patience. Patience is a lack energy, which I was surprised myself to find that out, but it makes sense after they explained it to me, which, because patience, like, I'm having patience with the situation, but that energy below that is basically saying, I am not, um, I feel like there's something that's supposed to have already been in my life that is not. So the is not energy is where that lack comes in, right? Oh, I'm being patient. It's not here yet. It's also energy like, oh, it's finally happening. That energy is lacking energy because we're like, it's supposed to have been here already. I'm already, it's behind schedule, right? So there is energy around here that, again, I feel like there's all this focus on it. If I go back to gratitude, I do feel like that can still be on track as well here. Now let's get into the nosy stuff below the surface here. Yeah, we have the Seven of Wands, which is about being true to oneself, not dimming one's light, not needing to defend one's actions. And the Star card. Well, we like this energy of the sevens, and the Star card is about dream come true energy, um, and making sure that the dream is something that represents who I want to be, not something I think is supposed to happen. Or it's reminding me of, like, whenever I was going to get into relationships, I would end up giving myself up and my friends and life to make them my life. I feel like this is a reminder to stay shining bright, stay true to yourself as you go into this situation. Just know that, we can have someone part of our life, but not have them be our life. And that's a good thing. I wish I would have heard that. No, would have heard that after relationship one, but I eventually learned it, like, after relationship five, after 10 years. I'm like, oh, I get it. So I like that below the surface energy as kind of as a precursor to what you have coming towards you. Let's look at these other ones real quick here too. We got the Page of Wands. So that is new energy, new passion that's coming in. We have the Fool card, a new adventure energy, which the World card that you got, last card in the Major Arcana, Fool card, the first card of the Major Arcana. Here's that Eight of Pentacles coming in again, which is the having put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, there is the fruition that will be coming forward. So it does feel like, just with the alteration a little bit of the energies, that is a yes and a yes, um, with the reminders, right? Otherwise, it can be kind of kicked back later. But I know you, as soon as you're like, oh, that's right, I'm going to make that change because you want this. you feel like this is, a part of your journey. So you're like, well, I'm going to do the things that I can to help it along, right? Let's see what else we have here. We got the power of surrender here. And I just realized I didn't put your second one. Let me just make sure I put that down here. I don't think I did. Yeah, there it is. Fail. All right, so here is your fortune cookie for that one. Oh, wow. Yep, that is about lack, right? Surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Yep, that is that, the more I focus on gratitude, the more that it opens up, right? So I love that for you. And that's what they have for that one, Olivia. So hopefully those help. So many blessings to you. Right. So we'll continue down the list here. So we have Aries rising. So Aries rising. So for number one here, we do have a couple more. We'll circle back around each time here. So thank you for your first donation, the unboxing sticker. All right. Woohoo! Thank you so much for your exciting excitement for tonight. Been waiting all week for this day. I'm so glad. So glad that coming on tonight is that you guys are enjoying it too. So I'm so glad, grateful. All right, so there's been a major shift. Dun 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 dun. A disturbance in the force. So what did requesting the most epic nosy read about the family? Oh, oh, so there was some fun adventures that came from that. All right, well, we'll take a look here. So, let's see. Sagittarius think, okay, what did Gemini, and then what did Sagittarius think when they saw Kelly today? Okay, and then will Kelly play a more major role in Sagittarius's life now? All right, sneak peek into the matter. Let's drop the mic, right? All right, let me take a quick sip here before we get into that. All right. Okay, so what did Gemini think when they saw Kelly today? Let's look at that first. The Gemini, the big thinkers, but the multiple personality or split personality. So what did they think when they saw Kelly? Okay. All right. And then what about the Sagittarius? Thank you. And that one, but not that one. Okay. So that's the Sag. And then will Kelly play a more major role in Sagittarius's life now? Okay. Let's take a look here. So we have that, and that. I suddenly have like this. It's not my heart. My heart is over here. It feels like someone's poking right here. And so it does feel like some fear was ignited because that's fear's down here, but it's like catching your breath or something. So we'll see what that energy is about. But let's dive in and find out what is happening here. Aries, let me scroll down here in case you're down here. There we go. Oh, you guys are so spreading the word, spreading the word. Okay. Well, we have, the 10 of Cups for the Gemini. On one hand, the 10 of Cups is joy, and the 10 of Swords. Wow, these tens, two tens from the Gemini. On one hand, letting go of expectations, just having joy in the moment of seeing them. Uh, and then the Emperor. I love these cards. The Emperor, which is Aries energy and Aries rising, and this I get to choose. Wow, and then the 10, which is the wheel of fortune. So all these tens uh, coming in with this emperor. It is like this feeling of I get to choose. Um, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what this is with the cards that come in. I don't feel it yet with the Gemini because the Gemini feels like, you know what? I am choosing to look at life that what happens in life is for me, and there's all these endings and beginnings, and in a way there's this little, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it because I feel like they think the Sagittarius and anyone else that whatever the situation is, yeah, but there's like this, it's not gonna last long anyway. Like, they're never here for very long. I feel like they think like they always end up either they're like here and then they're gone. There's all this ending and beginning energy. So it's like, oh, the wheels turn and they're gone again. They're never here for very long, or they end up doing something that pisses people off. I think I can say that on YouTube. But it's like, psh, there they go. Off they go to, you know, it's like the wheels are turning. Eventually, they're going to hit bankrupt and they're going to be gone anyway. I just feel like they're in this zone of going, you know what? This has happened before. In and out, in and out, in and out kind of energy. They're just like, oh, there they are again, and they'll poof and be gone again too. So that's the kind of energy I'm picking up with their Gemini. Of course, with the Gemini mind, one moment they could be in this total, um, you know, place in their mind, but then things can switch and they can be their other personality. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde can come out sometimes. But I feel like because we're asking when they first saw it, they were in this place of, oh well, it's not going to be here that long. And then, but later, I mean, that could always change. But this energy with all these tens, endings, 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 they think um, it always ends up uh, ending up in their favor anyway, is the kind of attitude they had when they saw it. Doesn't mean that's how they're feeling now. But let's look at the cards here for the Sagittarius. What did they think when they saw Kelly? Ace of Wands. Ooh, a little bit of um, passion, ignition that happened here. A little bit of like, this flood of energy. Queen of Wands. Yeah, some more passionate energy with some emotion there. And the Knight of Swords, the quest of clarity coming in here too. So I feel like there's a lot of this excitement around it. They were like energized and like, wow, like a Sagittarius does. But this Knight of Swords also, it's like the knight, it's like the heart and the energy was like, but the mind went like, wait a minute. And again, I feel like there's this, I've been down this road before, gain clarity first before you go all in and, want open up your mind and heart and life to someone because there's kind of like this, they've uh, done this before, right? They're in their life and then they're gone again, in their life and then gone again. Kind of feel like that's the energy I'm kind of feeling with all this, if that resonates. And then your other question was, will Kelly have a part in Sagittarius's life now? Based on current energy, not on the energy of what they had then, but the energy of today is what these cards are. So we have the Seven of Cups. There is a lot of emotional choice and some emotional confusion here. There is, and there is a bit of, so this makes sense too, that there's a lot of stacked emotion. Um, and if you just, oops, from this side, if you just take a handle and it can come down crashing too. And this kind of feels like where they're at. thinking is like, I don't know, I don't know. Um, I don't want any of my of these emotions to break, right? Um, we've got the Empress card, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, Birth. This is a below the surface kind of energy. And again, the Empress is like 5 parts cup, 1 part, um, like earth, 1 part fire, one part air. So it's a lot of emotional energy that's below the surface here too. And the Fool card. There definitely is an opportunity here. I feel like they're still deciding. The heart definitely of the Sagittarius is like there's a lot of emotion flowing here, and they're going, maybe it's different. Maybe we can start something new. It's like they're trying to convince their mind to go, forward with it all, as well, because there is a lot of energy of, um, you know, I know Sagittarius energy is very much more like the Fool card. Fools rush in. They're more, wow, let's go. They're more apt to act on impulse because of the fire. Fire signs aren't afraid. They're like, yeah, why not? Give it a try. Let's go. Didn't mean to say that loud. Sorry if I busted an eardrum. But that's, the kind of energy I feel right now is that the heart is convincing the mind, why not give it another try? Open your heart. Let's open up the gates. And they're like, there's a lot of things we could feel. And I feel like their heart is like, yeah, and it's, part of life is experiencing all emotions. Come on, you can do it. So I like that. Uh, did Gemini see Sagittarius's reaction when they came in? Ooh. When I pulled the cards for Gemini, I felt like they did, but they were just like, "Pff, whatever. We've been down this road many times before." Let's see what they have here. Yeah, the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a flow of mental energy, so they definitely were in this unique space of, because the 8 of Swords is like realizing what of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets make me feel small and limited, and that kind of energy. So I feel like they saw it, but they were like, you know what, it's not gonna, they're gonna be in and out. I'm here, and that kind of energy. So it doesn't feel like, it feels like they saw it, but again, with all that other energy, they're all about endings and beginnings and whatever, coming in with them. So I don't feel like they had that. Let me see here for your fortune cookie. Let's look at the letting go here. Hey, girl, gone. Not yet. You're actually, I think you're up next. One of yours is up next. So uh, we'll be right to you. All right. So Aries rising. Okay, this one here. How fitting. It's okay to be annoyed. That's part of being human. Then I will read all this too. But I feel that that's like Gemini's mindset. It's okay to be annoyed. That's human. Or actually Sagittarius, right? With all those emotions, it's part of being human. Anyway, the key is to let go of being judgmental of others' preferences or feeling prideful about your own as the right way. Accept that all relationships have their ups and downs. You have to have a sense of humor about the human condition itself and its seeming contradictions and paradoxes. Actually, it feels like there's this kind of energy for both the Sagittarius and Gemini from different perspectives. The Gemini being more like, you know what? This happens, this comes in and goes away all the time. And the Sagittarius is like, yeah, why not, you know, open up, and, annoyance and all these other emotions are part of the process, right? Right. Uh, so that's what I feel they have for the first part, and then we'll circle back for your second one here in a moment. But Girl Gone Duffner, you are up next. And then we'll jump back to Aries rising and then back to your second question here as well. So here's your first time stamp. Right, and over here. So thank you. Hey, you. Thank you for that sticker and your donation. And let's see here, your question. Let's take a look here. See, did you have a second question or did you just donate twice? Because I don't see a question that posted for the first little sticker donation, unless you were just saying hello. So let me know. I'll do the one that has a question with the donation. And if you had another question, let me know that. All right, let's give that one a love and a like here. Because you wanted to know, what do your guardians and higher self want to tell you right now? All right, we'll dive into that here. Let's see what we have here. So what do your guardians and higher self want you to know right now? Okay. To do with that one. These three are underneath it. What else do we have here? Nope, none of those. Okay. Wow. Just have all these just like, I go, are these separate? They're like, no, just put it in this giant glob. So you've got, how many cards? 7 cards that are all, but there's one card. So it's like 2, 3, yeah, there were 6. It's like a fan. There's like 1 and then 6 cards. So that's interesting. All right. And that's what they want you to know there. So we'll take a look here. Let me just scroll down here. So, Girl, on the bottom of the deck, you do have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a wonderful energy of your higher self, drawing you upward, and the spirit, your spiritual posse, to see things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. So there really is this energy of a lot of guidance, a lot of stepping back and breathing and seeing things differently. So we'll see what this is here, because I feel like they've got one message and two, like, in a second message. So the first message has to do about temperance. Card number 14. Now, temperance, of course, is kind of patient, but it's more about trust. Temperance is more a card of trust that, it starts off with two cups, and you put like a base metal in one and you add some magic. The magic is the power of gratitude. And as it goes back and forth, it's changing slightly. It's changing to gold. That's alchemy, right? It's slowly changing. And even though you may not see it with the naked eye, going, I don't know, it kind of looks the same because we're in the moment. But if you did like time lapse, camera on the process, you would be able to like rewind it back, and you'd be able to see like how it was and where it's now and go, oh wow, there is a significant difference. But when you're with yourself and in your life, change is happening. Things are transforming. The Hierophant, they're showing the number 5 is the Hierophant, which is the major arcana, the big change number. 5 is the number of change. So they're just like, trust here. And even the temperance 14, 4 plus 1 is 5. I feel like they're wanting you to know things are changing, things are evolving, even when you aren't aware of it, because you're with yourself all the time. So you're like, well, it doesn't feel much different from yesterday. But if you look back a year, look back 5 years, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I am very different. My life is very different. Underneath that, you've got the Devil card, Capricorn, Saturn energy. You also have the 7 of Wands. Yeah, I like this energy for you, because the Devil card is about letting go and questioning long-held beliefs of who you're supposed to be, should be, need to be. All these opinions, and you're a Capricorn too. I'm a Capricorn rising. I get it. We don't mind looking at our doing the work to look at the things that we're ready to let go of and release those things that had held us back before from being the Seven of Wands, which is standing up on a hill, being true to your authentic self, not asking permission to shine, not dimming your light. And I like that energy because they're like, this is, you have been doing that. You have been stepping out. You have been letting go of things, and progress is being made. Yeah, even the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles brings in this energy. And I feel like this is where you've done a lot of work and transformation about um, you were defining yourself by the outside world in the past, by relationships. That's of all kinds with humans, lovers, friends, family, work, friends, workmates, schoolmates, whatever, right? Things like your body, your bank account, your possessions, and situations like jobs, education, social status, just situations that we can get into, which is what we're taught to focus in on. But this Capricorn energy, it had you question all this stuff and going, does this really define me? Does this really, tell me who I'm to be? No, that's just opinion. And you're realizing there's a bunch of different opinions, but of course, stepping into the only opinion that matters is my own. Because we already know the creator loves us unconditionally in the spirit world, eternally, unconditionally. They don't have any judgments on us. So I like that. And then the second thing they have here, the fan like stem, I guess you would call it, is the Eight of Pentacles, another, energy of doing the work, doing the putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, the transformation. And there is this energy of moving forward in that and seeing the results of that, which let's take a look here. Yeah. So you have the Eight of Swords as one of the pieces of the fan with the King of Swords, the master of thinking and all this. So this together is you really have connected to seeing things mentally, and that's the Capricorn gift that we have of seeing things from a higher perspective, releasing the old ways of thinking that made you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. And eight is a good flowing energy of the mind because it's like four swords on either side create this wonderful kind of flow. Uh, and that's good. A seven, a five, a nine of swords is like there's a block in between, not letting us pass until we deal with it. But this is showing the flow that you've had and around that area of your life. Let me see here. I feel like they want to go to the Ten of Swords next, which is about letting go of a lot of those expectations, again, of um, supposed to be and should be and need to be and people pleasing. A lot of this you've let go of through this process, and you've come down to this knowledge of the Two of Swords, which is closing your mind and opening your heart. So I like this mental energy, this mental adventure that you've been on here. And through this process, of course, um, the strength card, which normally has like a lion or a cat of some kind and a higher self of some kind, the strength card is about finding your inner strength. It is reflective of the Four of Pentacles too. So part of all this adventure was realizing that being told to look for that, what's going to fill you up is in these three buckets of relationships with humans, with situations, and with things, that all those things are unstable. That's what the Four Pentacles teaches us too, is, when we depend on any of those things to define us, that they are unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. So relationships with humans, unstable, right? When we look at jobs, education, anything in that area, it never stays the same. It's always changing and fluctuating. Same thing with things, right? They break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen. And so the strength card teaches us that when we become desperate enough and hungry enough and thirsty enough because those things of the outside world don't fill us up for very long or take away our thirst. I joke that they're like American Chinese food. You eat of the things of the outside world and you're hungry an hour later. And we get tired of that. We're so hungry that we then turn inward and upward and we find the only thing that is um, stable and fulfilling, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms of the Creator. Eternal, very stable, if that means forever, right? Unconditional means no conditions, nothing you have to do to earn it, nothing you can do to have it taken away. And when you have your definition of yourself defined by that, then boom, we we've had that stability that comes in. And the last card is the Page of Cups, which is the chalice, the Holy Grail, from where we find that eternal, unconditional love. So I really like this message saying it's celebrating your journey, kind of encouraging you to look at the work that you've done and look how far you've come and to embrace this, organize this, that into really simple terms, that every moment is either of unconditional eternal love or the fear of losing conditional temporary love. And when we realize that every moment is one or the other, we can really just use our power of choice. And if I don't like this, then I can choose that. And there's no right or wrong choices. It's like just different choices bring us different experiences and different outcomes. So if you choose a lower vibrational experience, enjoy it, learn from it, and if you don't want to feel that way, you can change it too. So I love that for you. You definitely been on a spiritual journey to change, absolutely. And you've come a lot farther than you're giving yourself credit for by all this too. So, you know, definitely like this for you. We'll pull a fortune cookie too, and then if you didn't hear, I you had made 2 donations. So I don't know if you had a second question. If you do, pop it down there, and I will be back to that in a moment after I finish Aries Rising. Their second one. It looks like Aries, you have a fourth one. Thank you so much. I'll add you to the list here. I'll give everyone an update on where we're at here in a moment. I just want to get through some more readings. Right now, I've got Aries Rising next, and then girl back to Girl Gone if she has the second question, and then Sun and Moon, and then Content, and then back to Aries Rising, and then to Yadi, and then if Johanna pops back in, if she puts her question out, since she was number 2, I just didn't see a question, and I've got a ton of PayPal that came in too, so we'll do that. All right, very, very good, Girl Gone. We'll circle back around for that one. Let's get your fortune cookie for your first one here. There we go. Yeah, so surrender negative thinking, which is lower vibrational thinking of fear, right? You have control over your thinking and your thoughts. Well, yeah, that's what your reading was about. When lower vibrational, what they call negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So I like that. That's confirming what we said. Just, don't beat yourself up about it. If you do, we all do. We all have, especially there, this is a giant amusement park full of fear rides. There's plenty of opportunities to fall into fear. And so when we recognize that we're in line for a fear ride again, I'm like, oh, no, I don't think I want to do this again. I'm going to step off and go to the Zen garden and have an ice cream cone instead. Or I'm going to like, I don't care. I'm going to ride this roller coaster again. Woohoo. All right, I'm done. So no judgment. All right. So that's what they have for that one. And we'll spin back around here in a moment. But Aries Rising, we have number 2 for you. And we'll just keep posting these here. All right, let me just move that there. All right, so let's see. We left off up here. All right. So thank you for the microphone donation there, Aries Rising. So family dynamics continue. Not a love read. Dun dun dun. All right, let's take a sip here for this. So Virgo's someone who doesn't hold back. Yeah, that's very Virgo, speaking their minds. So a reading on how Virgo feels about Gemini today, next week, and forever. Oh no, for the rest of July. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, I know, right? Two big thinkers. Yeah, it's funny. I'm reminded of a Virgo friend and a Gemini friend, and um, when they work together, I can imagine. Dun dun dun. All right, let's step in here. So, Virgo's feelings about Gemini today. So, based on current energy. All right, what else? Anything else? Okay. And then for next week. Okay. For the rest of July. Can't believe it's July already. Okay, thank you. What else? So they do want those. And then will Virgo at any time put Gemini in her place? Meaning, will Virgo speak up and about and tell them how they should be acting in their life? Almighty ruler of the universe. Don't you love it? We're like, uh, we love telling people how they should behave and act, right? All right, let's look at today. What are Virgo's feelings about Gemini today? King of Wands. So a lot of fire energy here. Let's see what the energy underneath this is here too. The Hierophant, which is about wanting to see things from a higher perspective. So today feels like a controlled burn, a flame, because the King of Wands isn't like the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is like speaking before thinking. This is a card about I'm thinking before I'm speaking. I'm like, is this the battle I want to choose? Am I ready for battle? It's things a king would want to do before going into a successful battle. Like, am I ready? Am I seeing things correctly? I don't want to just leap in and end up losing a battle because I didn't think things through. I didn't have the proper perspective. So I feel like that's for today. Next week, we've got the 10 of Swords, which is about letting go of expectations, but it's to the point of I've had it. I don't need to please people. I don't care what other people think, kind of energy. The World card, which is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. And the Six of Swords, which is about leaving behind old ways of thinking, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. Next week, it feels like the Virgo goes, what is all this matter anyway? Um, I'm gonna look at things from a different perspective. A lot of this is like I don't care what people think or what other people are doing. I've got to move and let old ways go, and I've got to go and I've got to make change for me. I feel like this feels like a lot of stress, and they are like, I can't do this to myself. I've got to have this I got to have a fresh perspective. I need to let things go. I need to move forward for me kind of energy. We'll see. That's just for next week, though. Let's see if that continues in for the rest of July. Because when we're changing perspectives, um, old habits can kick in anyway, right? So let's take a look here. Well, we have the Hanged Man, which is about transformation, seeing things from a different perspective. We have the Six of Cups, which is a balanced emotional energy coming in here. What else? And the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, harvest energy. Again, this nurturing energy, cocooning, pulling in for themselves, and trying to become emotionally balanced. Have they started therapy? They might be going, I need to do it. And they're learning things, it feels like, for the rest of July here. And I don't know if they've had any health issues or felt so stressed, like panic attacks or just feeling so stressed. I don't know if they've been reading books or going to therapy or because it feels like this huge transformational energy for the Virgo, um, who um, is wanting to like live life differently. Wow, what is this with, you know, just to bring this in because as I'm saying it, literally out of my mouth, Spirit's reminding me of a message that I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, moved into Cancer for a year. And then, of course, we had a Sagittarius full moon, and then we moved into Cancer season. Sun moved into Cancer. We just had a Cancer new moon. One of the things that has been said quite a bit about that energy is we'll be surprised that big thinkers and people that spoke from their mind are going to be speaking from their heart during this time. And that we may be very surprised how people are changing their approaches, especially air signs and especially also Virgos and Capricorns are big thinkers, Scorpios a little bit too, but we'll see a lot of change in that as well. So, Geminis, Aquarians, and Libras too. So interesting, interesting. Will Virgo at any time put Gemini in her place? Let's take a look here. Based on current energies, Six of Pentacles, this equal giving and receiving energy, the Star card, very balanced energy too. One of the things about the star card, usually they'll have the star up in the sky, but there'll be seven other stars, small stars, which represent the chakras, which is a balancing energy, and that the Leo energy, the strength card. I don't know. This energy feels like things are balancing out, things are changing. This Leo energy, I'm getting like higher expression of Leo energy, which is more of leading rather than prowling and attacking like a lion, Leo the lion. So very interesting energies here with this Aries. It doesn't feel like they're going to do that. Let's take a look here. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I kept up there. Let's see. Okay, that's that. Let's see down here. The fire smoldering, right? Hmm. Yeah, and stress. Yeah, so it does feel like they're making changes, um, and I just feel like the stress of everything in their life has just become too much, especially with that Ten of Swords. Like, I'm just tired. I'm just tired, like mentally tired. And so it does feel like this is like a retreat based on current energies and not about speaking their mind um, right now. For the rest of July, it feels like this is a time, and it could be maybe Cancer season. Oh, the Strength card, Leo, is what comes next. So who knows? Leo season might bring a new energy. Fire, right? Because we're in emotional energy right now. But I do feel like that Jupiter going into Cancer is affecting all of us for like a year, right? Whoa. So let's get you a fortune cookie. I feel like we're into the letting go deck for this one. All right. Wow. and then I will read the back too. So it says, when the negative blocks and I can'ts are removed, whole new areas of life open up to us. This is interesting, right? Success stems from doing what we like to do best, but most people are tied down to what they imagine they have to do. That's that 10 of swords, the expectations. As limitations are relinquished, whole new avenues of creativity and expression become available. I do feel a very big transformative energy for that Virgo. So feels like the Gemini is going through stuff, the Virgo is going through stuff, but that makes sense with all this energy, right? Yeah. Just letting go, right? Just going, psh. But I do feel a big internal pull for the Virgo. So they're kind of like um not worrying about everyone else, just kind of spending a lot of time with themselves. So you might see them not show up at some events because I feel like they're kind of going into this cocooning um kind of energy too. Yeah, interesting, right? All right, so that's what they have for that one, Aries rising. We'll circle back around for your others here in a moment. All right, so Girl Gone, we're back to you for your second one. So thank you for your additional donation. Let's put you at your time stamps here. And let me bring these up here. All right. So your second question, thanks for reposting it. What does your goddess want you to know? Ooh, all right. Ooh, I get to tap into your goddess's energy. Powerful energy. Wow. Like my hair's starting to stand up on my arms and whoosh. Okay. Getting Kali energy of I am compassionate and I'm such a giver, but don't expletive with me either. Don't mess with me either. I like that. Strength energy, divine feminine strength energy. All right, let's see what message she has here for you. We do have that. What else? And that, and that, and that, and that, and this. Come on. Oh, she didn't want those. She's like, no, 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 no. This one and then that one. Okay. Let's take a look here. All right. So bottom of the deck, you do have the Hermit card. I like the Hermit card because I'm an introvert, but it is about withdrawing, and the sun, not the sun, the star is normally inside the lantern, and the star is our higher self, the higher realm, seeking guidance from up above. So the message from your goddess is like saying, come. It's like a personal invitation. Come spend time with me. I have so much to show you. I have so much to tell you, kind of energy. Let's see what else they have here for you, too. Yep, the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is an energy of a lot of energy. And that this is like I was feeling a lot of it. And I feel like she's telling you that I have so much um, energy that I've been giving you and that you've been receiving. And the 10 is like an ending and beginning energy. Like you're reaching a certain ending of energetic awareness and you're ready to go to a new level. So she wants you to spend time with her because she has like downloads and upgrades to give you in your energy. And it just requires spending some time with her, some special time with her. You've got the 4 of Wands. Yeah, joy and celebration. Great energy here as well. Um, maybe a little bit of uh, why are you being so serious? You know, laugh more, play more, celebrate more. And I like this because she's saying there's so much to be celebrated. Celebrate, create little. little joyful rituals, little joyful expressions of gratitude. Not it doesn't have to be like to her specifically, but she's saying it's so important because it allows you to draw more of this in as well. Yeah, and the justice card too is about not only energetically wanting to give you upgrades, but also bringing in this energy of seeing things from a higher perspective. I felt Kali energy, but the whole thing about goddess and the divine feminine, she can present herself. She's like, the divine feminine is a huge energetic force, right? And the hands of the goddess can be Kali and Mother Mary and um, Kuan Yin, and she can express herself so many different ways that she doesn't have to come to you in just one form. She can come to you in many forms. But right now, I felt big, huge Kali energy because you're in the midst of like this. She's the destroyer of things to move things out of your way, but she will also be the birther of things and is a powerful force of love too. So she's in a way teaching you this through her own expression, your own divine strength. And Sophia, yeah, exactly. Let's see what else she has here for you. Yeah, King of Cups, which is the balance between head and heart, and the Page of Cups. So one of the things that she does want to bring all this energy in, because it is unconditional love energy, and she does want to bring all this in for you. And so there is going to be, a big amount. Yeah, Lilith, perfect, um, energy. She's one of the for the human, it's one of the oldest of the divine feminine expressions, that she made herself known for a long time, but, uh, there's so many ways that spirit, comes through, and if we realize that, in the higher vibrations, it's like we're huge collectives that as we come down to lower vibration, we start having expressions more independent of a collective. And that's when it's like all these puppets, that come in and for our sake. But this is this teaching balance between your head and your heart is a big piece of what's coming in for you. The Six of Pentacles, again, all this excuse me, hiccup, this balancing energy that's coming in both in the emotional world, the physical world, the Nine of Wands, with the Queen of Wands. Yeah. Let me put these up together because one of the things that she's teaching you is your empowerment. And the Nine of Wands can represent like a block, like we feel like we can't get through something or beyond something. But what she wants to teach you is your power, that you are the one that can reach out and grab one of the Nine of Wands. That's your Ace of Wands, and it creates a space for you to move through it. So it's about stepping into your power more and more. And this is why they do want to have alone time with you, whether it's through ritual or through journaling. Even automatic writing is a good way where you just sit and go, what do you want me to know? And start writing whatever comes to mind and just let it flow onto paper. And she definitely wants to show you that. So I love that for you. Let's see what I feel like I'm going to the letting go deck here for your fortune cookie for this, but definitely invitations to spend time with her. I feel. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's a big one on this side and a big one on the other side, too. Says the most obvious and visible effect of letting go of negative feelings is a resumption of emotional and psychological growth. So that's head and heart balance, right? And the solving of problems, which often have been long standing. Again, moving through this energetic barrier, right? excuse me, it says there is pleasure and satisfaction as we begin to experience the powerful effects of eliminating the blocks to achievement and satisfaction. Entire areas of life can open up. What used to be awkward or unexpressed can be effortlessly and joyously alive. Beautiful. Very empowering energy with that, too. You are very welcome, and thank you for your dual donations. Good to see you, Girl Gone. So many blessings to you. All right. I'll give everyone an update here in a few. Right next up, we'll have Sun and Moon content, back to Aries rising, and then to Yadi, Colon. So we will do that. But right now, it's Sun and Moon at 12040. I like all those numbers there. Let's put that down here for you, Sun and Moon. Let's zip up here to find out where I'm at. There you are. So let's give that a love and a like. So I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Celebrate good times. BZ's on tonight. Woohoo! I love it. Thank you so much. So you would like to send BD a message. Would it be best to send it Friday or Saturday? And what will BD's reaction be when you send it? Also, what does July and August look like for you? All right, let's take a look here. So let's see here. Friday's energy. Okay. Thank you. Saturday's energy. Okay, that'll help there. And then what will their well, let's pull a card for each. So if you send it on Friday, what will the reactions be? If you send it on Saturday, what would the reactions be? Okay, 3 and 3. All right. And then what is July? July and August. So what does July look like for you? One card. All right. And then what does August look like for you? Okay. And they just have 2 cards underneath. We'll see what that's about here. All right. All right. So Sun and Moon, you too, Girl Gone, have a wonderful night as well. All right. Friday's energy, if you send it, is the 9 of... No, it's the 8 of Wands. Lot of flow and lot of energy that comes in with that. Let's see what Saturday is. Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles, of course, is about more abundance. It feels more, it's, of course, the Pentacles, and with this page is about abundance and about new opportunities. So let's see here with this 8 of Wands, for if you send it on Friday, what's all this energy about? We have the Page of Wands. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Whoops. Along with the Emperor. Aries energy, decisions to be made. It just feels here like Friday they've got a lot going on. Because all of this feels more like energy of what they're experiencing. I've got decisions to make. I've got a lot going on. I've got, like, 8 of Pentacles normally is a different energy, but what I'm feeling is like I've got this and this and this and this and this going on, and the Page of Wands is this another thing, and the 8 of Wands feels like they're being inundated with a lot of things, which makes sense. It's a holiday, so I feel like they got a lot, happening. So Saturday with the Page of Pentacles seems quieter. Let's see what the energy under here is. Yeah, you have both the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. So it does feel like Saturday would be more beneficial. It offers a new opportunity. Yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And the Death card, which is, of course, a rebirth card here too. So endings and beginnings energy for Saturday with it. So I feel like Saturday is kind of looking kind of glowing, saying, pick me, pick me. Friday feels a bit getting lost in between all the activity. So I feel like that is probably the more successful. If that's a word for it. Just it brings you more of what you're looking for on Saturday. July, what does your July look like for you? You do have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a bit of a, I don't know, like, because nine is the hermit's adventure, the hermit's journey, and it is about independence, being with ourselves, kind of, information, you know, with that. So, we've got a little bit of that being to ourselves energy, at least right now for July. August seems more balanced with the Justice card, which is, the scales, clarity, seeing things from a higher perspective. Let's see what the energy in August is here. These feel like these came in here. Got the Six of Wands. Six of Wands energy is about victory, is about uh, flow and equal energetics and temperance, allowing things to unfold. Whenever we get a slow moving card like that, just feels like July and August are realizing things. Whenever we get a slow moving card, it's about giving me time to look at what's going on inside of me. What am I focusing on? Mentally am I able to that be aware of no longer serves me, letting go of old thoughts, old opinions that don't serve me anymore, old emotions that don't serve me anymore, energy that doesn't serve me, even things in the physical world that don't serve me anymore. And so there is an energy here of July and August right now of, you know, things balancing out, figuring things out. It also gives them a chance to also do the same. So, right now, that's based on current energies, but that doesn't mean that it can't change because, of course, the more we look at what am I focusing my energy on, I used to say 80/20, 80% of our time on gratitude and unconditional love, enjoying laughter and play, because that expands and grows those things. And then 20% on those things that are going, hey, 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 our triggers going, look at me, look at me, look at me. Those things that feel like stress and lower vibrational emotions of want and need and et cetera, et cetera. Um, and so it gives me that opportunity to make those adjustments. I used to say 80/20. Now I say 90/10 because with all the energy going on in the world, I'm like, I need extra joy and laughter and play and higher vibration. I got enough. 10%'s enough. That's my choice. And you're wondering if they read and respond, if you send it Saturday. Oh, will they read and respond if you send it Saturday AM or evening? Okay, let's take a look here. Let's do one follow up here. So will they respond if you send it in the AM? We've got the Ace of Cups. Look at it. I love these cards. Woo! What about the evening? We got the Four of Wands, joy and celebration. I feel like Saturday evening is more of a successful one. The Ace of Cups is about self love. I feel like they're going to be, maybe they're going to be recovering Saturday in the morning. So Saturday evening, I feel like they're in more of a receptive frame of mind, aka no hangovers. We'll find out. um, So I like those. We'll pull here also a fortune cookie for you here. Come on. So I like to put all the cards in separately, so it's kind of like a independent shuffle. All the cards don't keep going out. Being drawn to the power of surrender. Let's see what they have here for you for your fortune cookie. Yeah, surrender resentments, which says holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. So it's kind of an energy of let go of the things that don't serve you anymore, right? So it allows you to move forward into things that are like in gratitude, right? So I like that. So hopefully that resonates there, sun and moon. So good to see you tonight. And thank you again for your donation. All righty. Let's move up here. I'll give an update here in just a moment. I just have a few more to go. And then I have a bunch of, I need to find out who's next myself. All right. So content, you are up. Let's find out yours here. There we go. So thank you. Let's give that a love and a like since it lets me. And you want to know, what did Christoph's, what did he think after he saw you last Sunday morning by chance? Ooh, all right. Let's take a look here. All right. What did they think? All right. I got these two and this one. All right. So what was he thinking? At the bottom of the deck here, we do have the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is an energy of, usually it's someone laying down with all those swords stuck in their back, and they're just like, I'm tired of living up to everyone's expectations and rules, and I just got to be me kind of energy. So I feel like that was flowing underneath them all along as well. And with these cards, you got two sets of three. These together feel like kind of a mental and emotional confusion about, what is my dream come true? What is it that I truly want? Because we got the the 7 of Swords. Ooh, which is about, understanding what of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets have, um, you know, stolen opportunity from me. What needs to change up here so I can be more successful out here? And the 5 of Cups, which is an energy of sorrow and focusing on my low vibrational emotions, but it's also, because usually it shows someone crying over the 3 spilt cups, but behind them are 2 cups, which is about emotional choice. And that's what I just feel like when you have 5, 7s, or 9s, that represents kind of conflicting energies. And so you've got emotional conflict, mental conflict. But the reason I say it's over what they really want in life is the Star card is like, what is my dream come true? And we do have a battle sometimes. Well, we all kind of always have a battle between the mind, whatever the opinions it was told about what should happen in life, and our heart going what it really wants. And so the mind has these opinions of everyone else that it formed in life, and our heart has what it's really connected and what it wants. And then it battles back and forth. And I feel like that's kind of, they've already been having that go on, but when they saw you by chance, it really activated this energy inside. Let's see what these other 3 cards are here too, because we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is a balancing energy. The Emperor, yeah, still this energy of trying to decide what they want. And the 10 of Pentacles, which is a relationship card. 6 of Pentacles is also like a codependency awareness energy. And again, it just feels like when you get the Emperor, there's different stages of the Emperor. The one that's stepping out is the one like, I don't know what I want. They've had all these people, blah, 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 in their ear of opinion. This is how the empire should run. No, this is how it is. No, and all this conflict from everyone, to the point where they're like, clear the throne room, leave all your opinions in that box by the door on your way out, because I need to decide what I want. And then once I decide, I'll put a plan together and put action behind it. But there's all this indecision energy, this need for balancing to come in, this needing of letting those opinions of old go, and they're still trying to figure out what it is they want in life. And so when they saw you by chance, it just kind of ignited added steam to the battle going on inside of them. And what do I want? And I'm tired of hearing what everybody else wants. What do I want? And that's where their confusion comes in, because they're trying to figure it all out, and they've got these opposing forces. And right now, it doesn't feel like I'm not. Um, when I look into their energy, sometimes I'll be like, "Ooh, look, the heart is winning. Oh, look, the mind is winning." But it feels like a tug of war where it's just going back and forth and no one's making any progress. If you ever seen like a big tug of war, they have like a rope tied on the rope in the middle, and they have to like pull beyond a certain thing to win, and it's just going back and forth here. And so I don't feel like they've made a whole lot of decisions. So that's what they have for that one for you there, content. Let's see what the power sender brings in for your um, fortune cookie, which is surrender to passion. So get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. I like that. It's a great message for all of us, especially if we're searching for love. When we search for it, it's an energy of like trying to fill a position in a company. We're doing background checks and interviewing it, and it just feels like work. Living our passions, living what brings us joy, and following that's where we meet love, because we bump into someone who's also living their passion. We're passionate about the same thing. A spark happens, and then it grows into something, instead of trying to find someone, doing a background check, blah, 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 and you find out they lied on their resume. You end up firing them, and then you end up trying to find out someone else to fill that place in our heart, right? Because it's like a job instead of something that we're living life, and not trying to make a part of living that we have to find love to fill us up. There's a big difference in the energy. So hopefully that makes sense, content. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. um, if you didn't make a donation, I'm not sure I'm going to get to a ton of free readings tonight. Oh, no, I see here a situation regarding AB. So if I get through all the donations, which I will definitely complete all donations tonight sometime, but I'm only going to be on for another hour and a half. And I still have quite a list of donations to complete. So I may not get to any free readings tonight. Um, so, just to set expectations. All right. So let's move on. That's you for content. Thank you again for your donation. And then Aries rising, we are circling back around. So this is number 3 for you here. Let's grab these timestamps. Boom, a boom, a boom. There we go. Excuse me, I'm hitting a sip here. Maybe I should grab a cough drop. All right. So sorry, Aries rising. We really were starting at 1:38 for you. You got to hear me clear my throat and all sorts of fun stuff. So, all right. So thank you for your third donation there. And let's scroll down here. There you are. So family dynamics continued. So the read on, let's see, the last one was that was Virgo, right? No, that was Gemini. Oh, Virgo feelings about Gemini, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get you. Just make sure I wasn't repeating the same one here. So a read on Gemini for tomorrow. So tomorrow, okay, Gemini for tomorrow, this weekend, wonderful 4th of July weekend. Are we going to see fireworks? Let's find out. And then July and August. July, August. And then how will what happened today change things for her? A work and home, spill the beans tea, and anything else there's to spill. That's too funny. All right, let's take a look here. Okay. All righty. Frog. We need to have I was going to say a seance. That's not it. What is it? Exorcist. Let's let this frog go away. All right. So let's see here. Gemini for tomorrow. What's going on with Gemini for tomorrow? Well, so we've got Six of Pentacles along with the Two of Cups. So this is an interesting energy because this feels very balanced energy tomorrow. Two of Cups is about relationships and the importance of relationships, and the Six of Pentacles. I mean, it can be codependent energy, but it feels oddly balanced tomorrow. Maybe they have a special brownie and they're just kind of in the zone. But it does feel oddly just kind of like calm, very balanced, very giving and receiving for the sake of a relationship. I feel like it's relationships, but I feel like there's one relationship that they're really kind of just purposely staying balanced for. Interesting. Let's see what happens for the weekend. Can they maintain it? We got the Five of Pentacles along with the Hanged Man. We also have two more cards for the weekend. But that energy together coming out, the Five of Pentacles is an energy of the fear of being abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold. And the Hanged Man is like a cocooning, is a stepping back, is a withdrawing type of energy that comes in here. Let's see what's underneath here, too. We do have the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. Balanced emotional energy. Maybe they're on some new meds or something. Because this, again, it feels like they're keeping their emotions close to them with this Hanged Man, seeing things from different perspectives, pulling inward, pulling away, but maintaining this balanced approach to things. Yeah, this just it does, and then, like, even before you said anything, it just felt like it's not their personality, but with all this emotional mother nurturing energy, a lot of people are being more loving and being more compassionate and being more unlike themselves. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be looking at people like weird, like, "Who was that?" But this is this kind of energy, very odd. Let's see here, for July, we've got the World card, which is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, Page of Pentacles, this feeling of looking at their self-worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way, but it is an ending of the old way of looking at things in a brand new way. Again, letting go of a lot of expectations and energy, which, when we were talking about them before, it does feel like, what? What Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or what is it, the Stepford Wives, whatever it was, where they replaced them with robots that were all happy, and maybe not that extreme, but there is a lot of this here. Well, let's see August here. We got the Knight of Pentacles, so slow movingness, along with Three of Swords, heartbreak, expectations equal disappointment, and the Five of Swords, conflict, and that. So with the Three and Five of Swords, it does feel like here in August, there is a lot of um, like mental conflict, and even that it moves out. So, how we talked about it feels like July, they're making progress, they're making these changes, they're trying to change how they perceive the world and how they look at it. But we talked about um, Leo energy may be changing things up a bit because if the Jupiter is going to be in Cancer for a year, probably. I think it's like a year. It's in each sign a year, I think. Um, but and then all the new moon, full moon energy of Sagittarius and Cancer, all this expanding emotion, and the sun being in Cancer is giving energy around emotion. But then we move out of that. The sun then focuses in on Leo energy. It focuses in on the sign that it rolls over, and it's about to self and fire, right? So I do feel like there might be a little bit of battling and disappointments and um, maybe like reverting back to some old ways of thinking for a bit in August. Now, we're asking here, how will what happened today change things for our work, home, etc.? Let's see here. We do have the Judgment card, which is I love these cards. But this is about our higher self having us look at things from a different perspective, and even it has us look at like it's our calling. What am I living for? What am I doing? What, you know, it's like it brings in like a unfulfillment energy because we're ready to do something different. Yeah, Page of Wands. It does spark them to make some changes in their life. Let's see here with these other cards what these changes are. So it definitely feels like it makes an impact and makes them really, you know, like change their perspective of life and like, I'm sick and tired of all this. What do I want to do? Kind of energy. Let's see. Yeah, King of Wands, Aries ish kind of energy, like the Emperor. I'm deciding what I want and what I want to do. The Four of Swords, letting go of expectations, letting go of what everyone else is expecting, really this resting of the mind, because they're usually sleeping on the Ace of Swords. With the new perspective, they're making some changes, or at least contemplating making some changes here. Ten of Wands, a lot of energy, but it's endings and new beginnings energy too. A reevaluation of where they're investing of their energy. And it's like I've been I'm recalibrating and adjusting where I'm investing all the energy in my life. Instead of all these 10 things, I'm backing off of a lot of things, focusing on one or two. I can go great distances by focusing instead of life feeling like a burden. I can refocus stuff in my life, focus energy in my life. Yeah. The Five of Wands, transformation of energy. The Eight of Wands, a lot of energy. And then here's the Strength card, yeah. So I feel like a lot of this does happen in August with going into Leo season. This is Leo energy with the Strength card. So it does feel like they definitely, with what's happened here, they're really thinking about things and really reconsidering things in their life. And I don't feel like it's limited to just one area of their life. I feel like it's in a lot of areas of their life. It's like, wow, craziness. But big changes coming for them here. Um, but I feel like these emotional waters that they're going through, they're not really used to. And that's why I feel like they're waiting to August before they're doing it, because there's less emotional focus, which they can get a little bit more of their feet underneath them, if that makes sense. All right, so let's see here. That's what the fortune cookie is here. Okay. Power of surrender. Yeah, it's like surrendering their fear of intimacy. You're ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So, and that of course can be opening their heart to what their what their true dream is, and etc. And it can be for personal as well. So see, I wasn't reading down below, so we'll take a look here. How long will Gemini be reserved? Yeah, it won't last long, right? We said probably till August when the fire returns. They're no good. Maybe they're readjusting it. The catalyst that kicks off August, I feel like it is the change of energy. Um, quite honestly, because I feel like everything's already in there, but I feel like it's the change of emotional energy as it backs off. And I feel like because that'll happen like July 20th is when the sun moves into Leo, and then I feel like it takes like a week or so before the emotional energy kind of makes the way out of their system a bit to where the the roar comes in and wants to make these changes. But I don't feel like it's so much like the stuff that happened, like you said today, was maybe a catalyst for things, but all that 10 energy they've gotten, I feel like they're reaching a point just internally of like, I'm just tired of all this stuff. I'm ready to let a lot of stuff go. And I feel like that comes in, with that. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that was for that one, Aries rising. And I think you have another one. We'll return and come back around to that. Hey, Maria, good question. I do free readings, but there's some nights where I have so many donations, I may not get to them. For a while, I had been focusing on making sure I complete all free readings, but um, Spirit has brought into me a need for balance. So I'm on I'm on Thursday nights now, Friday night and Saturday night for 3 hours each, and then Saturday and Sunday mornings for 3 hours each. On Sundays, if I don't get to the readings, then I will. That Sunday's going to be special, where I do come back on and finish out all readings. So if you try throughout the readings during the weekend and I don't get to you, if you try on Sunday, I'll make sure we get answers. But just the 6 hour sessions, I can't do those anymore. So there's personal reasons for it too. So I just hopefully you guys understand. So thank you. All right. So let me jump in here, and I will let you guys know here in a sec. So Yadi Cologne, you are up, and after we finish yours, I'll look and see who's next because I did get a whole bunch after this. So here's yours, Yadi. Thank you for your donation via CashApp. And let's find your. Here you are. I am doing well. I hope you are well. So you wanted to ask, will Anthony call you back to schedule your final interview? All right. Definitely take a look there. All right. So, will Anthony call you back to schedule the final interview? All right. So, based on current energies, what do we have here? And then you had a free reading listed here, but you could have just made this as part of your donation because I'm probably not going to get to free readings a whole bunch tonight, if at all. Will you receive a job offer this month? So are they going to call you back for an interview? And just in general, are you going to receive a job offer this month from anywhere? So we'll throw that in there too. All right. Well, you have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. It feels like this month is going to be a very abundant month for you. So that's a good sign of some good positive things coming your way. Specifically for Anthony, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. These together does represent abundance and positive things here. We have the 5 of cups as well here. So the energy under that, the 5 of cups, is being aware of your emotional energy, right? So if we're focusing on want and need, then we're going to make it more difficult for the universe to bring us what we're wanting it to bring us, right? But if we focus on gratitude, like being grateful for all the interviews that you've had with this company, sincerely going, I'm so grateful. I love that interview. I loved that opportunity. And even looking back at past opportunities that you've had for interviews and just having sincere gratitude for those, that's what opens up the conduit and allows you to receive it. So I feel like there is positive energy around this with both the page, the 9, and the king. But that 5 of cups is a reminder just to watch our emotional energy. If we keep it high vibrational, we make it draw it to us. If we focus on lower vibration, it's like pushes against it and makes it more difficult for that to come towards you. And then, will you receive a job offer this month? You've got the 7 of Swords. Let's see what else do you have here, too. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Oops, sorry. And the 5 of Swords. So all of this has to do with mental energy. The 7 and the 5 of Swords is an energy of um, conflict. And so we got emotional energy over here. We have a mental energy over here. So the Ace of Swords is about see things from a higher perspective, a higher vibration. You know, we can get stuck in our old mindsets and our old emotions of I need this, I want this, I must have this, expectations. But all that energy is lower vibrational again, which pushes it against it. So it's important to realize I know it seems counter to what we've been taught as humans growing up of like focus on what you're wanting and needing and fear. You know, you must have this. This is going to define you. And if this doesn't happen, it means you were bad and you deserved punishment or all these old beliefs. It's important for us to cleanse those and just push those away and but spend 90% of our time focusing on gratitude and unconditional love and joy and laughter and play and 10% on these fears that are triggering. So every time it comes up of what if you don't get it, what if you don't get it, just go okay, come here, you're not gonna leave me alone till we let go of this charged emotion, this charged belief, and go what if, no, that doesn't mean anything about me. I decide the story of who I am. I decide what emotion I want to feel. I decide my energy and my physical actions, not the outside world, right? So I feel like there's positive things, but it is important to focus on, those energies. Um, and even if it means putting something on your phone every waking hour, gratitude, 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 to bring us back because there's so much in the outside world that will pull us to our old ways of thinking, right? No, you're not alone. It's all us humans, unless you were, you know, adopted by a Buddhist monastery when you were a baby. Then you might have it a little easier letting go of attachments to those things. But most of us weren't, right? So your fortune cookie, surrender to trust, right? Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Those are those opinions of expectations, right? Take action and be confident that you've chosen the right path. And also there's like this trust the universe, right? Trust that what's meant for you will never pass you by. You can trust and of course gratitude towards creator for bringing the perfect position in the perfect time in the perfect way, because if we're focused on time, we're pushing time away, right? That's the impatience or patience even brings focus on lack. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Yadi. So many blessings to you. Excited for your adventure. All right. So thank you guys so much in your patience in getting to all the readings here. Let me just find out where I'm at. So let's see. We did that. We did that one. Okay. Sorry, let me crunch my. All right. So it looks like up next, hey, Moonlight. We have Moonlight 5 times 2. And then let me see here. Okay, and I think this is... Yeah, I think this is Amazing Grace. I was... because your PayPal has your real name on it. I'm like, wait a minute, is that you? So we have that one. I think this one's yours too. And this one too. Yes. And that one too. All right. So that's times 4. All right. So PayPal times 4. Let me just make sure here, timestamp wise. Okay. Right, and then we have Maria P. times 2. Okay. And then we do circle back to Aries rising. And then to Michelle Smith. Hey, Michelle. That's... get rid of that one. That's an ad from somewhere. Get that out of my email. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Okay. And then I think we have, yeah, Sonali. Hello. So Sonali Thakur, or something close to that. I know I probably murdered that every time. Okay. And that's what I have for donations right now. So I've got about an hour left. So I'm probably not going to get to any free readings tonight. My deepest apologies. But we'll talk more about that as we get closer here. But I am 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. All right. So let me scroll up here. All right. So Moonlight 5. Hello, my dear. And you got 2. It's times 2. So this will be when we start here. And let me just move this over here. All right. So Moonlight, thank you so much for the cake. Birthday cake or cake. Is it my half birthday yet? Nope. That'll be August 12th. But we'll celebrate with cake anytime. So you're just wondering, due to yesterday's happenings, is it best to sell your son's car? All right, what we'll do here, we'll see what the energy is if you do sell the car. All right. And then if you don't sell the car, that way you can see which energy really aligns with what you're wanting to experience, right? So if you do sell their car, you do have the 4 of Swords. Well, yeah, definitely peace of mind, right? You're like, peace of my mind. 5 of Pentacles. Do you feel like there will be feelings of abandonment, of being left behind, being left out in the cold, lack energy, not being enough, not having enough? Is that your son? That's probably your son's energy. Oh, what did you do that for? Oh, yeah, so you'll have to deal with that. You do have the Wheel of Fortune, though. Everything that happens in life does happen for us. So something to keep in mind, with whatever happened, it is for us. What is it? Why is it happening? What is it showing me? So before we make a decision out of like reaction, it's okay, stepping back and going, why would I want this to happen for me? Because it's happening in my life. It's not, why did my son want this to happen for them? That's none of our business, right? We come back to us and go, why did I want this to happen for me? So something we can learn from before making a decision too. And then if you don't sell your son's car, you have the Knight of Cups. It's emotional movement. Let's see what else we have here. The 9 of Swords. Yeah. Is this you? Nightmares and insomnia. 3 of Cups, which is joy and celebration. So I feel like your son would be more that. And the judgment card does allow us to eventually see things from a different perspective. But this would be an opportunity to face our own fears, um, and understand, that whatever has happened, again, going back to this, why did this happen for me? The energy underneath all this is the Knight of Wands too, which is being aware of our power, our path, our energy, and the quest of stepping into our own power. Whatever I focus on grows and expands. So if I focus on more fear and I focus on this and that, then I invite more experiences that match that. And if I have, they're bringing in, if I have energy of like, especially with children, I know, I mean, I can imagine I don't have any children of my own, but I've tried to be the mother and father of a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people didn't want it. It was not. It was self-inflicted. Or no, it wasn't self-inflicted. I was afflicting myself on them. Um, but I get it that, that trying to keep people safe, trying to make sure that they're safe, and that's a parental thing, especially for moms. I want to protect them. I want to make sure I don't want their actions to impact me even. Um, so there is this, being aware of where I'm investing my energy and what my fears are through it all as well. So, some things to think about here. With spirit, there is no should, there's no wrong choices. There's just different choices with different outcomes. And it feels like you'll learn through both. There's no significant difference that's popping out to me about, oh God, just a matter of your relationship with your son will be impacted by that feeling of abandonment, being left out in the cold versus their joy, right? So, um, I feel like that is what's coming in here. Let's see with the power of surrender cards what we have here. Okay, so here's your fortune cookie for this one. Yeah, I like it. So surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Ooh, yeah. So I want this outcome, but it might sabotage that what you actually want from it. Like I want my son to be safe or whatever, or I don't want this to impact them and blah blah blah, but it'll impact them in a different way, and kind of like your relationship it feels. So that's what they have for the first one there. And then for your second one, your upside down emoji. I love it. Thank you for your second donation. Oh, okay. And what is coming for you this weekend? All right. Let's take a look here and see what we have here. So what is coming for you this weekend? All right, what else? This one, and these two as well. All right, what do we have? Ooh. Wee. That's the alarm system. You have the tower card on the bottom, which is all right. The tower card normally has a lightning bolt hitting it. So I like that they have it just as a little dun, 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 just this little tower, not on fire, not being blasted, but it is about knowing that whatever is moved out of our life is moved out on purpose for a purpose to make space for something that is more in alignment with us and to clear things out of the way, right? Excuse me, to be able to move through and to head in a direction. So I do like that, that energy, um, knowing everything is for us. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, the tuna for you, which you got in your last one. But it's like just knowing and trusting that when things get moved out of the way, it's like, okay, I asked for this because nothing's ever moved out of our life for us unless we've asked for it before we came down here. Because there are some fated events that we want to experience. They're few, but when a tower moment comes in, then that's like if we've told our spiritual posse before we came down here, if by this time, this situation, person, whatever, isn't removed out of my life, blast it, remove it out of my life for me, so I can move on to the next fated event. Because this thing is going to keep me from moving forward to what I want to experience, right? So we can trust that. Let's see if we can have more information on this for this weekend. We've got the Eight of Cups. Well, it's probably going to be emotional. It's leaving behind someone who no longer, or an emotion, but I feel like it's someone, right? A relationship that no longer serves us. We also have the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of energy, flowing of energy. So these eights are the movement away of something, letting go of an old passion, an old emotional relationship that doesn't serve us anymore. We have the Eight of Swords. Well, got a lot of eights coming in here, my dear, which is also mindsets and communication that doesn't serve us anymore. And the Knight of Swords. Yeah. It's the seeking of clarity among all this. Um, so I do feel like there's someone, I'm sure we know who this is, but there is this final letting go of they're getting removed out of your life. You've been trying to remove them out of your life. And with this Knight of Swords, it seems like there's been still continued and extreme communication with this individual that's coming in here too, right? Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the Fool card. Well, brand new adventure, free of expectations. They're the first card in the major arcana. World card was an ending of an old cycle. And here comes the Fool card. Something free of expectation, free of stress, free of that lower vibration. It feels like an exciting new adventure that opens up here this weekend. And the Ace of Pentacles, too, which is about a new way of looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world, but a new opportunity, a new beginning in the outside world. So if we let go of this, which that Tower card, I feel like um there's no you know uh way to avoid this. I feel like it's going to come to a head and things are just going to be, you know, washed and opened to allow you to move forward. So I like this for you. Maybe they're going to get arrested or moved away or kidnapped, or we don't wish that on anyone, but if they don't stop it, maybe they find a new interest, and so they move away from contacting you. Let's see what your fortune cookie is for this one. I've got this one here. Yeah, surrender to what is, which says flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So surrendering, just going, that is what it is, and I don't need to do anything about it. That's what I feel like that message is really zeroing in, is I am not responsible for that. Psh, 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 psh. Okay. Just say
no means no.
I had to use it at least once. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All righty. You're moving along here. So Amazing Grace, you are up. And this is for ×4. Thank you for your multiple donations tonight. All right. So let me just get to your emails here. So we'll go to the first one. So for the first one, all right, so you want to know, how do others perceive you spiritually? So what do others see you as? Because you know who you are. Boom, boom. You just want to see, and we'll do the general consensus of what people pick up here. So let's take a look here. What's the general consensus? Yeah, of course. Of course you're going to get that one. I'm not going to tell you yet. Okay. And then these two. I know, I'm just teasing. Um, well, because what came out here is the Hierophant, which is the teacher. So people do see you, as a teacher, someone that can, um, you know, um, help them learn and grow. And you do bring wisdom, to individuals that are there too. So there are people who do see you as in that teacher student role, right? You also have the 9 of wands and the 7 of wands. So the 7 of wands, I feel like this is a lot of what you teach because these cards came out together, all 3 of these. So the 7 of wands is about, I like I know who I am. I am who I am. And I don't dim my light for anyone, and I don't ask permission to shine, and I don't defend who I am. I am me. And the 9 of wands represents like an energy that a lot of people have blocks about being able to be true to their authentic selves and to reflect who they are. And in doing that, um, of course, they dim their light and they aren't true to their authentic selves. So I feel like this is something that you teach people by you live it. And so I like that. Let's see what else. These came out here. You have the 9 of swords and the 10 of cups. So I also feel like with the 9 of swords being nightmares, insomnia, and facing fears, the 10 of cups is about helping people transform their fears into joy. And I feel like you do teach people the difference between the two and how you can shine light onto a nightmare to turn it into a dream instead. Ooh, I like that. So it's an interesting, because fears only feel scary in the dark. It's like watching a scary movie at night with the lights turned off. So much scarier than watching it out on a beach in the sun. You're like, ooh, I'm scared. Boo 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 boo. But when you're like, what's that noise? So I feel like you teach people about shedding light on their fears to transform them. So I love that. And then what else do they see here? 6 of Pentacles with, you have 2 other cards, the Queen of Cups. I like that. Of course, psychic energy, and the Page of Swords. So higher knowledge and higher wisdom here too. I feel like people do see you as someone that can, again, I feel like all these are things that you're able to teach them. This feels like, of course, the 6 of Pentacles is my out of balance giving and receiving, being aware of our out of balanced energy. And with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Swords, it is intuitively helping people look at their sense of worth and how out of balanced it can seem, where they feel they have to give so much to receive so little. I do feel like you help people understand their sense of self-worth, and you bring in this knowledge intuitively for them. So I do feel like you bring that in through tarot, most likely, but also just through conversations and words of wisdom that you just channel without even cards. So I do feel like there's a variety of different ways that you do all this for others. And all of your journey has been about learning this for yourself, right? And so the things that you learn and have learned so well are the things that you're able to be an expert and teach at. And so it's always being aware that, of course, we're not perfect. We're never have learned it all, right? We're not know-it-alls until we're back in spirit. Then we are know-it-alls up there. But these humans, we have these filters that tend to uh, interfere. We'll put it that way. So that is what they have you there. All right. So, let's give you a fortune cookie first. Oh, I feel like I want to go to the letting go here. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, here we go. And you've got, So I'll show you, and then I'll read, and then I'll read the back too. So it says, as old ways of looking at things are challenged, our worldview begins to stretch and expand. So this is how you're perceived, is you help people understand this. That which has previously considered to be impossible becomes possible and eventually is experienced as a new dimension of reality. There is the capacity to look within ourselves, to examine our belief systems, ask questions, and seek new solutions. So I like that. So for many people, you are that teacher. I feel like that's just reinforcing that. Right. So that's that one there. Amazing Grace. All right. And then for number 2, you want to know, why didn't Dee come to your sister's birthday party? Was it because of you? If you are so powerful. I love it. If it is, you're like, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. So why didn't Dee, I'll mention names just for the sake of privacy, but why didn't they come to the party? Was it you? What did you do, Amazing Grace? I'm just kidding. Of course, remembering with the Emperor energy that you don't control anyone's empire, that ultimately everyone makes their own decisions, that, yeah, we can make it easier or harder for individuals to make higher vibrational choices instead of lower vibrational choices, or we can make it easier for people to choose lower vibration, but ultimately everyone is the emperor over their own empire. We don't make decisions for those. Yeah, we can make suggestions through our actions, words, non-actions, but ultimately everyone decides for themselves. So you're not that powerful over their life, just your own. All right, let's see here. Why didn't they come over here? So we have the Knight of Cups. It is movement or pursuit of love. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. This Hermit wanting to be alone energy. And the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture energy. So this does feel very self-focused. The Knight of Cups is the pursuit of our self-love, focusing in on there. So I feel like it was for personal reasons. Let's see what's below the surface. Yeah, Page of Cups, seeking their own happiness. And the Two of Wands, their power of choice. So I don't feel like it was you. I feel like they were more in a mood just to be alone, be by themselves. There is a little bit of energy here. Yeah, the Eight of Cups on the bottom underneath it all too is about leaving behind emotions and relationships that don't serve anymore. And with this movement of Knight of Cups, I feel like there's a little bit of focus on romance or lack thereof, or maybe uh, they had some relationship challenges with someone. Not you, though. It feels more romantic. Um, so I don't feel like it was you. Let's see what else they say about their energy here with the fortune cookie, because it doesn't feel like that was you at all. Yeah. Surrender to denial. Cleopatra, Queen of Denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So I do feel like this was them. They've had a difficult situation and they were they're like, I'm not going to be fun to be around, and I don't want to have to put on airs to be happy and all that. So I feel like they were really focused in on their own selves, so not anything directly focused towards you. Whew. All right, so that's for that one. And then for number 3, you want to messages about your husband. All right. You're so funny. All right, let's see what we can find out. Let me take a quick sip here. right. What can we know about your husband, or any messages, or what can we know? Okay, I feel like we want those two. That one too. Okay. Oh, we've got 1 and 2 and 3. Yeah, we got all this progression energy again. But we got the King of Cups on the bottom, which I love because that is the balance between head and heart, and this great energy about, um, uh, what a wonderful fit. Here they are. I can just, you know. So I love that they're like, here I am. So let's see what they want you to know here. We got the Three of Wands, which I like this energy. They're saying with the Three of Wands that you have been um, making energetic choices, which are taking you um, not off track, just on a different path that is going to be um, leading you guys to one another. And of course, that has to do with choices about self worth and releasing old thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you, emotions that don't serve you, energy that doesn't serve you, physical things in the physical world that don't serve you. So there's been this, making choices and raising your vibration because of it with that Three of Wands that is this movement. Let's see what this is bringing, because this is building. And you've got the Seven of Swords. So this is letting go. Oh, wow. And Seven of Cups. I love it. So that's basically what I was saying, right? The Seven of Swords is being aware of your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that uh, thief from you, that steal from you um, old beliefs about what a relationship should be, who you should be. More so, I feel like this is focused in on you and the choices you're making about you, not so much about relationship. And they're celebrating this, saying with these two sevens, 7 7. Ooh, it's coming up here. But it is that you've been releasing that thoughts and emotions that don't serve. So as I was saying, that's where what this has led to is you're the more that you're letting old thoughts and emotions go that don't serve you, the more you're raising your vibration, the more you guys are being drawn together. And this is what they also are focusing on and doing as well. So I like that. What else do we have here? Yep, the Nine of Pentacles, this feeling of independence, and the Page of Pentacles, which is about looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And so there is this progression of moving from 9 to 11, right? Because pages are like number 11s. Um, and right tucked in between it would be the 10 of Pentacles um, being there, which is a card of relationships and abundance and all that. And so they're like, this is part of the path is to become independent, to be, of course, happy alone, because you can't be happy in a relationship till you're happy alone with yourself, truly happy and alone with yourself. Then that just takes things to a new level, right? But I do love the bottom of underneath that energy. You have the Queen of Swords. So this is on the surface, they don't really seem to be matches, but the Queen of Swords is the same energy as the King of Cups. What? I know, because Queen of Swords helps roll over the mind suit, but behind the scenes, all queens have cups. And then the kings roll over their own suit. So the King of Cups rolls over emotion, but all the kings have mind energy behind the scenes. So even though on the surface it looks like someone's more emotion, someone's more mind, behind the scenes they're a match because people don't understand that about each person, that both of you are a balance between head and heart, but you only let people see both of you, only let people see one side of you. So in the beginning, people are going to be like, huh? Until they get to know both of you, and then they're like, oh, I get it. And so I love that. And I feel like they're telling you, I'm a perfect match for you, but you're a perfect match for me too. Because sometimes, like they showed me once a picture of like a like a five-fingered glove, but there was a four-fingered person. And so for the four-fingered person, a five-fingered glove, yeah, it's a good fit. In fact, there's an extra thumb that's available, but the five-fingered glove feels empty because there is an emptiness there. But this is perfect fit. Fits like a glove. Five-fingered glove on five-fingered person. So anyway, I feel like that's what they have. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here for this too. Oh, wow. The more we love, the more we can love. Love is limitless. Love begets love. Growing our love. It says love has a powerful anabolic effect. Love increases endorphins, which are life enhancing hormones. The energy of love has the capacity to heal our bodies when conditions are appropriate. Wow. What a great message. I love that. All right. So that's what they have for you for that one. And then number 4 for you, we have ancestors messages. Let's see what we have here. All right. So let's take a look here. What do your ancestors have for you? Okay. It's interesting that I heard a song from a cat, the cat on the what cat on the hot tin roof? Is that what it was? It's the one where it's Jewish and it's tradition. So there's this Jewish heritage from your ancestors, which is a message in itself because it's like, yeah, in this lifetime, you do have a connection to a family tree and ancestry, but you've been the member of many family trees. And you have all of this in your Akashic records. You've got all this connection to so many different ancestors. They're like saying, don't limit yourself, tradition. It's funny. I think that's the name of the movie. It's an old one. Anyway, but on the bottom of the deck, you do have the 10 of Pentacles, which the 10 of Pentacles will have the tree of life in it, which from the Kabbalah or Kabbalah, if it depends on how you pronounce it. So it's the tree of life, which that's very tied to Jewish tradition. That's funny. Didn't even put that in there, but so there is a strong family tie to um, Jewish ancestry through one of that. But there is this path of life that is very different. Yeah, the world card. I like this. You've been all over the world. You've been part of many, many ancestral lines, I feel like is what they're saying here with the world. You're related to the world, you know. It's like, yeah, we all pretty much our goal, there are some lifetimes and some individuals who spend several lifetimes within a family tree because they're helping transform the family tree. But the majority of humans want to go and visit every tree in the orchard so that we're part of every line of ancestors to experience that, have that connection and that experience with all of those. So that's funny. You have the Ace of Swords, so much knowledge that you can glean from all these different ones. And so I feel like, um, I mean, you have a lot of knowledge that you've already achieved as this human in this lifetime, but I feel like not limiting which ancestral line that you can connect to. I feel like this is a growth opportunity to go. You can like drop down into the roots, and it's like aspens. They all are connected through a root system, and you can go and go to another family tree and go to another family tree as well. So I like this acknowledgement of the many connections and your ability through the Akashic. um, it's like you can just go through down any aisle of any ancestral line and glean knowledge from them all. I love that. You have the Eight of Pentacles too, which is here's this tree, here's a family tree, and here's stacking up all these lifetimes of all these different experiences. You also have this one underneath, the Two of Cups. Yeah. The Two of Cups is about your relationship to the ancestors. So with this Eight of Pentacles, I'm really getting this impression that there's 8 family trees that it's important for you, or not important, because nothing's any less or more important in our adventures. It's all experience from Spirit's point of view. But they're like it's for your benefit, and it adds excitement for your adventure. I love the way they say that. It adds excitement for your adventure that you have 8 representatives, one from each family tree that you can connect with. And so, and I feel like you know a lot of these already, like, I'm connected to this ancestor. I know I'm connected to this ancestor of this bloodline. I know I'm connected to this. And it's like, there's an Oriental one from the Orient and Asian, and there's one of, European and African and all the different continents. And then there's significant ones within other family trees that are very separate. But I feel like you know them, and I feel like it's important for you to connect with them too. And look at here, the Nine of Pentacles, heading off into a forest. Look at all the guides. Look at all the fireflies guiding you and drawing you in to the forest, the orchard of family trees. I can't make it up. I love it for you. So very much an important part of your adventure coming up here. So I love that for you. Let's see what your final fortune cookie is for these. Okay. All right. Yeah, I love this. Surrender to success. Here's more. It looks like more trees here too. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. But I feel like this is leap into a new exciting connection with your spirit guides. So I love that. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Let's take a look here. I've got about 30 minutes left, and I've got 2, 3, 4, 5 more donations to do. And if Johanna pops on, I'll complete Johanna's too. If not, I owe you one, Johanna. I didn't see a question from you. I'll look one last time too. But I won't be able to get to any free readings tonight. I'm so sorry. I know I'm going to have to learn to deal with the guilt again, because I used to come back on and finish out everything, but Spirit has been telling me I need to balance. So I will only be doing that on Sundays. So I'll be back tomorrow night and Saturday night from 6 to 9. Also, Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2. And like I said, Sundays, whatever I don't finish in Sunday morning, I will come back on and complete everything, including free reading. So, I will finish out the donations here, but I did not get to any free readings, and I don't think I will in the next 20 minutes. So sorry, everybody. I know. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. All right. Okie dokie. So Maria P., you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There we go. So thank you for your dual donations. And let's see. Nope, that was that one. All right, here we go. So Maria, thank you for your first donation. Let me take a little sip here real quick. All right. Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today after your date. A lot of love and loving words and feelings today. So thoughts on those. Okay. He gave you gifts for your kids today. His thoughts. Okay. Okay. And then he talked to your daughter and son on the cell today. All right. Any thoughts around that? Okay. And then anything else? All right. So after your date today, we've got the Eight of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Of course, the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like, wow, the tune of for me. And I love this. I love this. I love this. The Eight of Cups is an energy of leaving behind emotions, relationships that don't serve anymore. So after your date, it just really, you know, one, they feel so fortunate being able to interact with you and being able to have what you guys have together with that. The Eight of Cups, I feel like, is an energy of them really going, it's like it energizes them more and allows this flow of leaving past, it's relationships with anyone. All this emotional energy that they're given to other people and other situations, even if it's to keep from killing someone. That's emotional energy, holding back, the draining, the relationships that are draining their energy. They're looking at the impact, and it's like the more time they spend with you, the more they realize the impact that other relationships are having with them. So I like that. It's good energy, right? And then his thoughts on all the love and loving words and feelings today. The Two of Pentacles. We've got the Four of Cups, emotional stability, and the King of Swords. Well, a lot of thoughts. King of Swords. And again, there's like this. Sorry. Oh, I think my buttocks fell asleep. So there is this energy of choosing, the Two of Pentacles, and this um it's this balancing energy with the Four of Cups in this, but it's really making them, and when I mean by balance is they're looking at balance, looking at this and looking at this, and the thoughts that go back and forth between what really they feel brings them abundance and fullness and what doesn't. And so I feel like, they're just like, what a difference the relationship you guys have had with anything else they've ever had. So it's like on one hand, they see that relationship with you guys, and it just, because it's so has so much in it that even adding all of the relationships they had with other people, they just feel it's really out of balance in a good way. They're just like, wow. So I feel like they're very happy with that. And then he gave you gifts for your kids. His thoughts on that, the Seven of Wands. He just wants to be true to himself and do what he wants to do. Queen of Swords, balance between head and heart, which is you, this person that he really feels is such a good fit. And he wanted to be able to do this. He wanted to be able to, be true to himself and give things to them. And I feel like he is looking at less of defending his actions and who he is, and not dimming his light, but really stepping forward. And so they want to be able to do those things and to share those things. And so they did it of their own free will, not because there's expectations or anything. This is what he wants to do. It's who he is. And then he talked to your daughter and son on the cell today. Yep, the emperor, that I'm the decision maker for his life. He's not trying to impose on yours. The Eight of Swords, yeah, letting go of old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve anymore, letting go of fears. And the Nine of Wands, choosing to step beyond these limitations, step beyond the fears of I don't want to hurt children, and um what if things don't work out, all that kind of stuff we were talking about before. With this Eight of Swords, this is about stepping behind the fears around it and stepping forward again with that Seven of Wands of being true to themselves. So I like this, that they're like, I'm okay, I don't have any intentions, and um like they feel like they won't do anything that will cause you to excuse me. So I feel like they're, you know, okay to move beyond um those fears and move forward. I feel like those go back to his childhood. I don't know. I feel like maybe his parents were divorced, or there was people that he attached to that would come in and out of their life, will come into their lives and then leave and never see him again. And so that kind of abandonment that he felt as a child, he doesn't want to be the source of that. And that's where a lot of the fear had come in. But I feel like he knows I'm not going to be that person. So I like that. Anything else? We got the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, here's that exactly what I was talking about. The feelings of abandonment, being left behind, being left out in the cold. All that goes back to when they were 7 years old and younger, to where they experienced those things, and they definitely don't want to be the source of that for anyone. And so that's why he's been so careful. But now they're like, I gotta do this. I cannot uh, hold back anymore with it. So I like that. Let's see what your fortune cookie is for this one. Your power of surrender here. All right, here we go. You have surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. Definitely, that's that letting go of expectations that they always want to sneak into your readings. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And then thank you for your additional donation. Let's jump into that one here. Uh, all right. So thoughts on us for anniversary. So let's see what his thoughts are about your anniversary. Can you believe a year? A year. Okay. And then when you put out the expectation, I wish you could stay with me, his thoughts. So let's take a look here. All right. So the bottom of the deck is always the reminder, the 2 of Wands, whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. So of course, it's a great reminder, because the more we focus on what they're not doing, we get more of not doing, right? So gratitude for what they do bring, what they do, things you love about what they do, you focus on that, right? Um, and mentioning and sharing our desires is one thing. It's like, sometime, someday, maybe on our anniversary, I would love you to be able to stay over if you feel you want to. No expectations. Okay, let's see what we have here. So, thoughts on anniversary, Ace of Swords. And what else came out with that here? And the Magician card. Here's that Magician card energy. Both of these energies are about, one is about clarity, looking at things from a higher perspective. And the Magician card, again, is that energy, like the bottom of the deck, whatever you focus on grows and expands. And so it's the difference between small t, truths rooted in fear, and small, which are expectations, and seeing things from a higher perspective, right? Which is about gratitude. So, a lot of their thoughts about all of this, we'll see this underlying energy, but Spirit wants you to know that it's like, well, I have all these expectations of what I think should happen on our anniversary. That is going to end up downward spiraling your relationship if you have this needs to be this and this and this and this and this, because all that is lack energy. And then what does that do? It invites lack into your life, right? Like we were just talking about. So it's very important to let expectations go. And gratitude. And I know that's hard when you have this, well, we've had a 1 year anniversary. This is what I should have in my life. But that's you're shooting on yourself. That's lack energy, brings more lack. His thoughts, burden, and the Six of Pentacles, this codependent energy that comes in here. So, there is this energy of, am I going to be, and this is based on their past. So they have all this list, even if you don't share a bunch of stuff, um, they already have this list of everything from past relationships of, you should do this and you should do that and all this stuff just to get up to zero. It's exhausting, right? This is the burden of meeting expectations, because it's like, if this is what I expect and this is no expectations, if I have no expectations and they give me this, look at how abundant it feels. But if I have these many expectations, it's just zero. It's no abundance. It's just, check, I met the requirements. There's no joy. There's no magic in it. It's just, I I I got back to zero, because it starts off here and expectations send it where you go in the hole 100%. It takes all that just to get back up to that, to matching it, right? So it's important to know that, because it's going to impact your relationship. Let's see here, when you said, I wish you could stay with me, the thoughts. 10 of Pentacles is a relationship and abundance, and yeah, there is that, desire for them too. Let's see what's below the surface here. They've got the Sun card. They've got the Empress and the World card. So there's a lot of positive energy here. And, so there is definitely desire here. I mean, the Empress is, sensuality and abundance and the nurturing energy. And the Sun card is bright, shining light, and the World card is a victory card. And so their thoughts are like, wow, I really would love to do that too. Um, and so they have a desire for it. Whether they do it or not, I really feel like depends on the energy you have. Because if you are grateful for the times that you do have together, then you can have more time together. But if you start focusing on what, um, again, lack energy, then that pushes and it makes it harder for it to happen. So with that Two of Wands on the bottom, I feel like it's just a reminder of, um, how, I know it can be difficult because we've grown up with so many, but we can also try to make it our habit of, I'm grateful for what they do bring in, what I do have, and I don't need anything special for my anniversary. How dare you, brudda-zen? But we don't.
No.
We don't. Our old mind of opinion says that, yeah, an anniversary should be special and we should do this and do this. But it's like me, like birthdays should be special, people say. And I'm like, just your birthday? I celebrate all year long. Why just that one day? Who put that out there? Why limit it? Every day's an anniversary, right? So being grateful for what we do have. All right. And then you have surrender to your soul's path for your fortune cookie, which says, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. As I was saying, embrace every moment as an anniversary. All right. All right, all right, all right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. All right. So now we're circling back around. So Aries rising, we're coming back around for you here. And here is all 4 of your donations today. Thank you so much for all that. I'm so grateful. There we go. Now let me find your reading. Okay, I think it's this one. Is it this one? Oh, let me look at timestamps. That'll help me. Yeah, here it is. So thank you for the spoiler alert emoji and donation, and your patience in getting to your Last question here. So, Sagittarius has always loved Kelly. Reading on Sagittarius and Kelly for this weekend and July also. Do you see Sagittarius and Kelly communicating, developing more after today? Dun, dun, dun. You're so funny. By all means, take a sip. All right. That was for the other ones. Okay. So let's take a look here. Sagittarius and Kelly for this weekend. Can you tell me? Okay. And that. Okay. And then, and July. Okay. Look at July. And then, based on current energies, do Sag and Kelly the communicating and developing more after this. So communicating, we'll focus in on chat, communicating, and other mysterious developments. And then that will be more tea, I'm sure. All right. So let's take a look here for the weekend first. We have the Judgment card. Wow, look at all these people. Too many prying eyes. Let's see. The Two of Swords, which is a battle between head and heart. There is this, this two energy here, and the Three of Pentacles, being true to one's authentic self, creativity, groups. I feel like this weekend is focused in more around a lot of group interactions, not so much anything private from this. That's what I heard. Too many prying eyes, and they're just kind of like, I'm just going to interact in public, just, if they chat, but it's all about, it's a battle between the head and the heart. The heart would want to, leap forward, but the head is like, simmer down, buddy. It's all about family this weekend and get-togethers and those kind of things here. Let's see what happens more for July here, too. We've got the Ten of Swords. Interesting energy of letting go of expectations of what everyone else would think. Ooh, the Empress, which is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and the Hierophant, seeing things from a higher perspective coming in here too. July doesn't feel like there's a lot of interaction with these cards. We'll see what these others bring in here. But it feels like a lot of energy of self-reflection, of looking at what the expectations are, seeing things again from a different perspective, really facing a lot of this. Because it does feel like we talked about before, I think the heart is like, whoa, 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 and the mind's like, come back here. We've been through this before. We don't want to leap and get hurt. So slow your roll kind of energy. But let's see what else comes in here with communicating. First of all, will there be more communication? Interesting. To be determined. Got the King of Wands and the Two of Wands. It's because whatever energy they focus on is what will expand. But the King of Wands is about, again, this getting out of the expectations of everyone else and the judgy, energy from everyone else and going, wait a minute, I'm clearing the throne room. What do I want? And then the Two of Wands is about, then I make plans, then I move forward. So there's a lot of undetermined energy that's coming in with communicating. Does more develop after today? All right. I feel like here we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is like the Empress card, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and the Knight of Wands. Got the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands. So it's action energy. But I feel like all of this reflection has to happen first before action is taken. So let's see what these bottom two cards are about here. Yeah, King of Swords. King of Swords is 2 times the amount of thinking energy. getting caught up in their, thinking a lot about the Knight of Cups and about their movement and their quest for love. So they definitely have a lot of thinking to do about all of this. So how does Kelly feel about Sagittarius, right? That is the dun dun dun. So, Kelly. How does she feel about the Sag? All right. What do we have? It's interesting. We have the Three of Cups here on the bottom, which is, it is this joy of, celebration and, but it is joy. It's joyful energy. What we have here, there's something about third party coming in here too. I was like, I heard it faintly, and then I went to go on, and then they yelled it. Third party. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, but they do see it. They have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about new beginnings, new opportunity. The Four of Pentacles, which is a feeling of home and stability in the outside world. But they have the High Priestess too, and the High Priestess, there's a lot of hidden things to be revealed here. And with this Three of Cups and the High Priestess, I feel like there is someone on the other the other end. I mean, they do bring him joy, and there is this feeling of solid, you know, foundation, and um, that they could see themselves with them, because there is this, energy of, no, security is a good word. Like, I could be secure, and there is this feeling of home, which is good. It's like this feeling of, um, let me see, comfortability, ease, again, safety. But the one thing we don't see is, oh, okay. So there is this, yeah, I guess there definitely is this third party, hesitancy, but it does feel, I didn't see any love energy in there, right? Um, so I feel like she's really protected her heart. That's the High Priestess too, is wanting to be off by themselves up in their High Priestess tower, because they need to have things revealed. They need to see things. So, um, oh, wow. Yeah, there is a lot there. Let's see what else we have here. Um, so we've got here the fortune cookie. I'll read that, and then I'll read the back too. So this is about their interactions. As we relinquish the negative suppressed feelings from all the programs we've internalized, they're automatically replaced by the higher ones. And on the back it says, when our inner feelings are of peace, peacefulness, serenity, tranquility, stillness, openness, and simplicity, the effect on others is to increase their awareness along with our own, and to give them a greater sense of freedom, perfection, unity, and at oneness with ourselves. So all of that energy we're talking about stepping back, and they really need to look at things. I feel like they both have that energy of, it was great to see each other, but they got a lot of to deal with before anything would be able to move forward with them. So it does make sense with all of that. Yeah, the third party poopakaka doo doo, and the fears, and the minds are like, no, you can't do that. Remember what happened? It's like, dun dun dun. Exactly right. So that's what they got for you, my dear, my dear. Thank you again for all your multiple donations. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And let me see here. Michelle, there you are. All right. So, Michelle Smith, you are up next here. And for everyone else, I am beyond my 3 hours. So, I won't be getting to any free readings this evening. And I'm not coming back on to finish any of them out. But I will be back tomorrow and Saturday night from 6 to 9. And then also on Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2. Sunday will be the only day that I will come back on to finish out all readings. So, if you try throughout the other sessions and we don't get to you, for sure come back on Sunday as long as you get your question in there between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. You will get a reading Sunday sometime. But I have to balance. I was going like 6 hours and then taking an hour break for lunch, for dinner, and coming back on for 2 hours and then another hour or so with my Praying Mantis members, and then going back on for another 3 hours. And Spirit was all, psh, psh, psh. How do you spell balance again? I'm like, okay. They did it gently, though. More like, all right. So, Michelle, thank you so much for your donation via the CashApp. And you want messages from your ancestors. All right. Let's step into your ancestors' energy. Such a peaceful crew they are. Well, most people on the other side are. Sometimes, though, they're a bit sassy, but your ancestors feel very calm. At least the ones that are coming through. Oh, it's funny because they're like, yeah, the redheaded one we don't let come through a whole lot. That must be the spicy one. All right, let's take a look here and see what they have. Bottom of the deck, we do have the 10 of Cups, which is about joy, 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 joy. And I feel like they're bringing in the importance of, one, your natural state of who you're made out of is unconditional love and joy. It's our natural beingness. And so there is this, I'm seeing all these visions play of old celebrations and in the, the halls with all the wine and all the food and the drink and the celebrating. They loved to celebrate. And it's important to celebrate just for the heck of it, not wait for the future to celebrate something. It's celebrate every day in some way. And I love that. Let's see what else they have here for you. Yeah, you got the 8 of Pentacles. Look at the family tree. All of this abundance of the family tree with the 6 of Swords, which is about leaving behind old ways of thinking and moving into new ways of thinking. So there is a lot of abundance, a lot of things that were passed down from generation to generation that were great things, right? But they're saying, and it's a big but, that's funny, big old but that is BUT that says, yeah, but there are also some other chains and some old ways of believing that also were passed down from generation to generation. And those, one, they're celebrating some of the chains that you've broken in this lifetime. And they're like, there's more that can be. And if you'd like, we can work together with you on those. Let's see what these next set are here. Yeah, the Page of Cups, raising the self-love of the family tree. We've got the 5 of Swords. Yeah, the resolution of conflict between head and heart, and maybe even conflict between people. And the Magician, that you do have the ability, you have everything within you to be able to do this already. There's nothing new that you have to do, but desire it and allow yourself just to be yourself. And if there are two parties that aren't talking to one another, just to flood them with love and follow your intuition. And even doing a lot of spiritual work or candle work, different things of sending love, to allow the higher self of each individual or individuals give them the energy how they want to use it. It's not about you trying to control how people feel or interact with one another, but more of your power to send love energy to surround a situation to allow the higher selves of the actors behind these characters to use that energy how they would see fit to transform the energy. It makes it easier for old um, feelings and thoughts to be released and to be cleansed, and to allow you to, for yourself, of course, if there's anything there, um, to transform things. Um, because there's been so much that's been passed down from generation to generation that some people don't know any better. And it's important to know that, I feel. What else do we have here? Yeah, King of Swords. So a lot of mental connection, a lot of wisdom and guidance that you can, receive from this. In fact, I feel like within your family tree, your ancestors, I feel like there is connection to several kings um, in your ancestry. If you've ever done ancestry.com or whatever those things are, but I feel like you have a lot of connections to royalty in the past, Your Highness. But I do feel like they do exist in your tree, and there's a lot of wisdom that can be gleaned from them. Let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. So kings and knights, nobility, and the Eight of Wands, which is about messages from spirit, and that you can connect to your ancestors and develop relationships with the ones you want to, even the redhead if you want. That's funny that they threw that in there. Yeah, even the redhead, because they do have a lot of um, knowledge and a lot of awareness that they can bring for you, and so anything that however you want to connect with them, they're like, you don't have to do it in any specific way. You don't have to do this ritual to be able to connect with us. They're like, we're not that complicated. All you have to do is desire to connect, and we're there. You don't have to do anything else. We're always around you anyway. But if you want us to step forward, all you have to do is say, hey. And if you want to draw in and get to know specific ones of us, you can reach out, because some of your past lifetimes were with some of these people in the past. So you do have past life connection with some of your ancestors, of course. So they're like, just reach out and you can grow that. So I love that. You also have Surrender to Spirit as your fortune cookie, which says, once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine, to your ancestors, right? Let spirit work its magic for you. So I love that. Send the energy, do what you can, send love energy, and let them do the rest. So I love that for you. So that is what they have for you. I'm actually on to my last donation for this evening, and I do want to be able to keep it to where we're at now. So thank you guys for asking about extra donations. But I'll be back tomorrow. So if you want to return then, we can do more follow up then. But I've been on for over 3 hours, so I'm gonna try to keep myself to around 3 hours. So sorry. I know I really want to, but we have to do that, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, Michelle. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Sonali Thakur. This is my final reading for this evening. So Sonali, let's see, did I do Michelle's? Oh my gosh. I did not put out Maria's. I did Maria's. I did Aries Rising. Okay. I just didn't put out Michelle's. I'm so sorry. And then Sonali, we have yours right here. Falling down on the job. And then I will post a pinned comment after I'm done listing the order of I only got to donations tonight. And Johanna, I do owe you one because I didn't see a question from you. So we will circle back unless you're on right now, pop it out there. All right. Thank you, Aries Rising. Happy 4th of July. All right. Sorry, Sonali. Let's get up to your donation here. Like, come on, brother. Give you a love and a like there. So you want to know S's current feelings towards you. There's less contact. All right, let's see what's going on here. What else? Okay, thank you. And these two. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Don't feel like we want those. Let's see what we have happening here. So we've got the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. We also have the Fool card here, which is the Zero card. It's the beginning of a new adventure here. Let's see what these other 4 cards are, because this energy I'm picking up here is that they are beginning this new adventure, this new following their heart. It could possibly be someone else. That's why I want to check here and see what we have here, because you have the 6 of Swords, which is movement, leaving behind old ways of thinking, old communication, moving into new communication. Another 6 of Wands, a flowing energy. Yeah, let me look at all these. The Chariot card, the power of choice, energy, and the 6 of Cups. Wow. Okay. So 3 sixes, and then the Chariot card, power of choice. If you look at them all, there's, it's all about, especially in these cards, it's a choice between this and that, this and that. And it does feel like they have another interest that's entered their world. And that's why they're kind of torn between 2 things that are coming in here. Let me see here. Has there been any like movement? Well, I mean, we have the 6 of Swords, which is a movement card. All of these are flow of emotion and passion and communication. So it does feel like there's something happening on both sides here. But let me see here. Got the Page of Wands. Yeah, that's a new passion energy that's coming in here. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. What else do we have? Yeah. The 8 of Cups, which is about walking away from emotions or relationships that they don't feel is serving them anymore. And the Star card, which is, wishing upon a star. What is their dream come true? The whole thing with all of this, though, is, whenever we're looking for, this energy of, my happiness is out here, this person is going to make me happy, then it's like, no, they're not, because they can't. And so there's also, um, you know, they're reminding me of like a conversation I had with my mom, because my dad had cheated on my mom early in their marriage, in between when my older brother and I were born, and she always had this energy around all this. And then of course they divorced like after 20 years of marriage. And then but my mom held this feelings of not being good enough all this time, because that's what she had taught believe, right? If someone cheats on you, it means you're not good enough to be held faithful to. Well, he remarried, and then that didn't work out, and then remarried, and that didn't work out, and had other girlfriends and stuff. And it was only like less than 10 years ago, probably even less than that, maybe 5-6 years ago, um, I was I realized how angry my mom was whenever my dad's name came up. And I was like, "Mom," I go, "you do realize that it wasn't you that made him unhappy." And she was like, "What?" "Well, of course, he cheated on me." And I'm like, "No, because if he was unhappy on the inside, there's no way that, for you to make him happy. Otherwise, the second relationship or marriage would have made him happy, or third, or any of those ones in between." And this little light went off in her head, and she was just like, "Wow." And it changed the way she looked at him after that. And I said, "Just like no one can make you happy, mom, unless you're happy on the inside. Our happiness is our own." And so this journey that this person is on, I feel like, they're like, well, they enjoy what they have, but they feel like it's not enough. And they have this dream of like, this is how I'm supposed to feel. But no one in the outside world can make us feel those ways until we have those for ourselves. So there is, um, you know, that there. And so it's important to know that, that it wasn't you, and, um, you know, that this is part of their journey, and anything that we have come up between, us and them is also for us to understand about our self-love. So I feel like this, is the energy they want you to know right now. And your fortune cookie says, yeah, I realize everything is a mirror. It says surrender to creativity, but everyone's a mirror showing us, reflecting back to us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it, right? It does say, let your imagination soar, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream, your own dream, or solve a problem. So hopefully that helps, Sonali. You know, I used to, I used to say, if someone can't recognize my greatness, thank you for showing me how stupid you are. You do not deserve me anyway. Anyway, much love to you, Sonali. Hang in there. All right, Johanna, you fell asleep. Oh my gosh. All right, let me get your timestamp here. So, Johanna would be my last one. She was actually number 2, and now she will be the final one for this evening. So, Johanna, like a general one. You're so funny. Fall asleep, go night night. Let's see, what does Spirit want you to know right now? And these two. Okay. I think I saw, isn't David Lynch? Is that your fairy godmother? I saw something that said something about a movie of that David Lynch directed. I saw something on. I was like, "What?" So I saw that today. There was something. It was an old movie. I forgot the name of it because it was like passing on my Instagram update. I'm like, "Oh, where did it go?" But so he's saying hi anyway. So your bottom of the deck energy is the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, the movie, now that they're bringing it back to me, was something about an old man, who was too old, he couldn't drive anymore, and then his brother had a stroke, and he wanted to go visit him, but he couldn't drive, and there wasn't any, trains or buses in between, so he ended up driving his, um, lawnmower, like the ones you sit on, from where was it? To Wisconsin, from somewhere. It wasn't like, but it was from somewhere to Wisconsin, I think. So if you haven't seen that, maybe you wanna look at that. Anyway, I can't believe I just remembered all that. They're like, "Boop, boop, boop." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I did see a little bit of it." Anyway, the 5 of Pentacles is about transformation. This is about facing thoughts about being abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold, not having enough, not being enough. So they're bringing that up here. Let's see what else this is about here. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, the movement, and this is the quest for your power, the quest for the magic wand. No, he's like, David is, your fairy godmother. No, the Knight of Wands is not about the wand.
No, no, no. 1,000 times No.
So there you go. Let's see what this is about. Three of Cups. So this is about joy, community in a way. You have the 10 of Wands, which is a movement of where you're investing your energy. Let's see what this last one is. And the Magician. Yeah. So there is this energy here about this is about groups and about where you're investing your energy and where you're focusing your energies here. And yeah, and just to remember with the 3 of Cups being both joy and finding your social group, that whatever you're focusing on is what expands within it. And so if you focus on the gratitude for what a group is and what they're bringing and da da da, of course that expands and that grows. But there is this attention here to focusing on what someone or someones are not doing, that they should be doing this, should be doing that, supposed to do this. Expectations, right? Because that does suck the life out of things. So, whatever group this is in, I'm not sure if it's acting or music, but this does have to do with an important groups within you for your future, that it's important that you focus on what you love about what's happening and not about what's not happening. See what else this comes in here. Yep, we got the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So making sure to nurture yourself. And this is about new birthing of things. The Six of Swords is about leaving behind old ways of thinking, moving into new ways of thinking, staying open minded while also nurturing yourself, not feeling you have to change because of what others, but being open minded about how other people do things, um, how they prefer things and all that. And that's okay. It's like I can be open minded to what they want to do. Doesn't mean I have to do it, but I can make choices to go, that's not a big deal. I can do it their way this time. But I don't, doesn't mean I'm going to change and do it forever because there can be resistance there too, right? Um, and the Eight of Cups, yeah, leaving relationships and emotions behind that no longer serve, you know, um, with this feeling of not being enough, not having enough. Oh, there you go with the choir, right? It's like there can be this fear of if I let other people go or let other things go, that I'll lose myself. But you can never lose yourself. You have the Three of Pentacles, which is about being true to your authentic self, but also allowing other people to help, allowing other people. And again, these threes are about coming, about contact and um, like your special group and groups to come in here. You have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom, the Two of Pentacles on the bottom. So a lot about, you know, choice and of how you look at your worth in relationship to the outside world. You know, when you become solid in who you are on the inside, then you're not swayed by the outside world and you step into your power, realizing that I'm the one driving my bus, my party bus for my life, and everyone else is driving theirs. I don't have to try to convince them to drive where I think they should drive or not. I'm going to focus on what I'm doing and my choices. So hopefully that helps. I like that for you. And then your fortune cookie, I feel like, yeah, power of surrender is where we're going. All right. Here we go. Yep. Surrender, stubbornness. I always think this looks like, even though this is light under a door, I always think it's like an ace of swords that they're holding behind their back, which is, of course, thinking and thoughts and being open minded. So if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Excuse me. So it's about being open-minded, right? I love that for you. So that's what they have for you, Jojo. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Glad you made it on before I headed out of here. And sorry to everyone else that I did not get to any of your readings, any of the free readings tonight. I will be back tomorrow night if you'd like to give us a try then. If not, if you're like, I don't want to keep trying and not getting to a reading, Sundays are the day to come back in between 11 and 2. 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Mountain Time, as long as you get your question there. Sunday will be a special day where I do come back on to finish out all readings, free and otherwise, on Sunday. So we're going to make Sunday this special day so that brudda-zen will maintain balance and be able to stick around for longer, right? The Lalupidu this weekend. Woo, 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 in Estonia. How fun. Well, have a blast, Johanna. 20,000. Oh, well, people was okay. So you mean a huge singing party? I think I've seen that before, where everyone joins together and it's like they have everyone sing parts or something. I don't know. Maybe beautiful. I'm excited for you. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to head off. Until then, remember every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. Because why are you being so serious? All right, everybody. I love ya. We'll see you soon.